and Touch, isn't it?
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
It is the Monday edition. The not all heroes wear capes. Some of them bear the incredibly challenging roads to get to the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios to get us on the air edition. Forget about that Superman movie that he likes. You are Batman. You are Superman. Hunter Vaughn, thank you for your service.
You're welcome. I felt more like Luke Skywalker or Han Solo on Hoth, getting my car dug out and then getting myself here, and it kind of looked that way going through downtown Madison.
So I want to hear all about your travails on Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, I think. ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and, of course, everything you need and everything you could possibly want on the ESPN Wisconsin app, which you can find both in the Apple and Android app stores. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. I believe we are at 23 inches. The last report I saw from my buddy Luke Sampe over at WFRV TV. It's a lot. It's a lot. From the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios, because Jesse could not get there, is Hunter Vaughn. And from his undisclosed location, back from Chicago, where he rooted the Badgers on to a near berth in the Big Ten final. And I'm kind of glad they're not. One extra game, not necessarily needed. He is the Packers Hall of Famer. He's Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. Welcome back. It's great to have you. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Hunter, you have to lay it out for us because I was going to come into the Everlight Solar Studio. I left my trusty 10-year-old Wilde and Tausch binder because I was coming in. I had a lunch. The lunch canceled. The roads are bad. I didn't even risk thinking about it because I am not, just like during COVID, we could do this remotely. Somebody had to step up and get in. And Hunter Vaughn, while Jesse Nelson tried to get in.
How far did he get exactly?
I think he got out of his driveway, and he was in a garage. Sounds like you weren't in a garage. You shoveled yourself out. And can you explain, can you kind of paint us a picture? How many cars were actually on the road? How bad was it? Because I'd like to hear
dazzling detail.
Just as Jason said it. Yes, the travails to get down there.
Well, I think part of me being able to get in is the fact that I am lucky enough to live on a street that is a pretty major road going through Middleton.
Okay, what's your address?
Yeah, as well as my Social Security and my mother's maiden name.
I have those already.
So that part wasn't awful. My issue is, and this is also probably not a good thing, I feel pretty confident when I'm driving in. So there were a few times where all of a sudden I was going and would catch on up to somebody that was going 15, and I'm going down the street that's going 35, and I'm like, oh, I maybe shouldn't be doing this, and my wife would not be too happy with me. But
so how long does it normally take you, like on a clear, blue, sunny day?
25 minutes.
Okay. That's our baseline.
Yep. It was a 35-minute drive this morning.
What? That's all?
That's not bad at all.
No.
That's your reckless driving, though.
Probably.
How long would it take me?
Probably 45.
Or Jesse.
I do have a bit of a lead foot. I'll admit that. But it was like as soon as I walked out of my apartment, there was enough ice underneath the snow that I kind of did the splits for a second and really thought about just being like, nope, not doing it. Like, this isn't worth it.
Are there cameras around your home that there might be video, kind of like Jesse throwing his lunchbox into the tree?
I really hope that there isn't. But I got my car cleaned off and sat in my car for about a minute and was like, do I really want to try and do this? And I pulled out and got here.
Well so done. What do you, if you don't mind, what are you guys dealing with down there? Because we're just dealing with an insane amount of snow. Like I said, I think we're at 23 inches. It is still coming down. I think we finished yesterday when we finally got a respite in Green Bay at about 17 or 18 inches. We've definitely gotten another 5 early this morning and until the start of the show, and it is still coming down. There was this weird band. I kept watching the weather, and there was like this big chunk that was snow. Then there was like this really dangerous, I mean, it was pink on the radar, but it was like ice mix. And then like further south, they're just getting like rain.
Yeah, I mean, I was getting, at least here over in Middleton, and that like it was rain for most of the day yesterday, and then late in the day it switched to snow. So I think that's the issue here in Madison, is that we just have this layer of ice underneath the probably close to a foot of snow that we've got down here.
Well, we can't thank you enough for your efforts. There was some talk about a cancellation. You know how the kids don't have school. There are stores and restaurants up here that are closed. Lambeau Field is closed. It's still called Lambeau Field as far as I know, but we'll talk about that coming up. Tausch, I'm kind of glad that the Badgers lost because, you were coming back Saturday either way, right? So you were going to be not dealing with this on the roads? Yeah,
we're all good on that. And, yeah, we had a gymnastics meet that I guess they don't cancel because they want to keep everybody's money. But obviously it was in the Dells, and we decided it was a late one Sunday. We didn't risk the – I think we could have probably gotten down there. I don't think we would have gotten back. So we did not – Eleanor did not. We did not make that trek. So, yeah, it hasn't been, as Hunter just said, it was a lot of rain until, 3 or 4 o'clock, and then it did start icing and everything else. So we're glad we didn't go. Safe and secure. I'm all set here. What I'm still curious about is did you bring out the snowblower yesterday? Did the snowblower come out?
That's a great question,
because
Jason.
you just said you got 30 inches of snow.
23. Yeah, 23.
That was, and then you got another 5 or 6 this morning, whatever it might be. You're over 20 inches of snow. We talked about this on Wisconsin's Morning News because we're all fascinated by you. I think all of our fans are fascinated by this. You've had this snowblower 3 years.
2.
At least.
2.
It's at least 2 years. And it's been sitting in your garage, and it did not get used yesterday. Unless something changed in our text, no usage yesterday. Jason Wilde, can you take us inside your decision to not utilize your snowblower yesterday?
If I must. So I got up yesterday, 6:30 a.m. We had about 6 inches on the ground. I have this like super wide shovel that's about 3 feet wide, and I'll be honest, this is the storm that broke me. What is the old saying? I cried uncle. I am officially crying uncle. For those that don't know, Paula and the girls are in Florida. So it is just me, the dogs, the cats, the fish, and the hamsters here at Casa de Wilde. And I thought, even though I have nothing but the utmost respect for how difficult meteorologists' jobs are, it was 70 degrees here a week ago today. It was 70 in Green Bay on Monday. And now we have 23-plus inches of snow on the ground. So
That's what makes this state great. That's what makes this state great.
And by the way, are we going to hold Jimmy the groundhog? Are we holding him responsible? Because this does not seem like an early spring to me.
No, I told you Groundhog Day's dumb. Stop listening to it. So, no,
Yeah,
you're
I'm
not
out
going
on
to.
Groundhog
There's
Day
no blaming the groundhog. Let's just stop celebrating about what the groundhog. If you want to go celebrate, but yes, no, you're not blaming Jimmy.
Well,
Don't
Jesse
blame
goes
Jimmy
down there
for this.
every year.
He loves it.
Jimmy
That's great.
is the groundhog of record. We got 23 inches of snow here. So
All right,
Jimmy
we ain't
was
blaming Jimmy. Okay, nothing wrong with Jimmy. Jimmy's Jimmy. Bob is Bob.
Bob is Bob.
Continue.
So I got up at 6:30 yesterday. We had about 5-6 inches, not 6-7, on the ground. I had not, thinking that it was not going to be the snowmageddon that was being predicted, I didn't go to get gas for the snowblower because I was like, I can handle this. I'll be fine. I've done it before. We've managed. I'm just going to, it'll be fine. There's no way it's going to be that bad.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be that bad. And I understand the fascination. Again, I always liken it to Cameron's dad's Ferrari in Ferris Bueller, that it just sits in the garage and he wipes it down with a fresh diaper. It is time. I give in.
You gonna sell it?
No, I'm going to use it next big snowstorm. I'm getting it out. Yes,
you won't.
It is.
You're not going to.
It is such a high performance vehicle.
You have no idea. You don't know if it's high performance.
No, it's got like a whole dashboard and it's intimidating.
I understand. You've never used it. You don't know how high performance it is.
Remember,
it's a garage ornament. Sell the thing. I want it. I'm going to buy it from you. What do you want for it?
Remember how you felt that day on the Beltline, driving your 3-on-a-tree pickup truck for your summer job,
Yep.
and you didn't know what you were doing. And you fried
I knew what I was doing. No. I knew what I was doing. I didn't know that it wouldn't allow me to shift, and I needed to get this bathtub to this construction site. So
and what
I knew what I was doing.
Where did you end
the
up?
oil, I ended up on the side of the belt line with a windshield full of blown-up oil is what happened.
Okay.
That's what happened.
That is the vision
and I'll
that
tell you what,
had.
I'll do it. Hey, I'll do it again. If that company hadn't fired me, I would have done it again. How's that?
Well, I was afraid of doing the snowblower equivalent of that. I swear to God that was in my mind. Like, I'm going to not put enough oil in. I'm going to put the wrong gas in. It's going to explode in my driveway. And then not only do I have 23 inches of snow to shovel, but I also have to move a giant snowblower that doesn't work because it exploded in my driveway.
Have you ever tried to even start it?
We had a snowblower previously, which I did
not
use.
That one. This beautiful Cadillac, whatever you want to say, Ferrari of snowblowers. Have you ever even tried to start it? Like I know this is going to annoy you. I'm legitimately fascinated by the psychology of this. I don't.
I'm
get
scared of it.
Nobody gets it.
I admit it.
You're
scared of it. I'm intimidated.
But what
by
are you
it.
scared of? You haven't even tried to start it ever, right?
It is all right. First of all, for those that don't remember,
have you ever tried to start it?
Just let me give a little background. Okay, we once upon a time, we had a wonderful partnership with Aaron's. Stephen Aaron's.
Had we run the snowblower once, we'd still have a partnership. But continue.
I'm not sure that that's
what
the
a great
reason.
partner. But by the way, what are you doing with that, Jason? Oh, it's keeping up my oil rags and.
Fair. Stephen and I have communicated over the years. We have worked on getting our partnership going, and maybe I'll just wait until we reconnect our partnership, and then I'll take it out for a spin. But
all he's going to say is, let me see how many miles you have on that, or how many hours used on that snowblower.
It's not about that. It's about relationships, and it's about the fact that I am intimidated by it. I am intimidated by it.
Okay. So why don't you? Because I mean, your daughter's.
Hunter, you are coming in hot. I just want to let you. You're super hot on the mic.
He's hot.
Very hot. I know you come in driving your car hot. You're real hot today.
Okay. Is this better?
That is better. Yes.
That is better. Yes, thank you.
Yes, that is better.
Your daughters are like old enough that they might have like friends who you could just hire to use it.
No. His daughters could use it. His daughters could use this. Yes, they could.
No, they're not. Our friend Bill Huber.
You don't want them to.
Our friend Bill Huber of Sports Illustrated reported last night that this snowstorm broke his snowblower. It died in his driveway. It's over for that one.
Good buddy would have went over there with that big, beautiful new snowblower that's never been used and finished the job for you.
Doesn't fit in my Nissan Sentra, though. All I'm saying is there is part of me that is undeniably embarrassed by how intimidated I am by it. That's part one. Part two is I will admit that now I will learn how to do it. I'm going to call Stephen today, confess, and say, hey, do you have somebody that could maybe, once the storm is over, can you send somebody out to teach me how to use this? And then
teach me how to snowblow. Teach me how to snowblow.
There is a small part of me that feels a sense of pride that I have managed to clear our driveway of 23 inches of snow with 8 different shoveling sessions without having a heart attack, and I did it without the snowblower. So that is a small victory for me.
Okay.
By the way,
and by the way, why? This is another conversation I don't fully understand. You didn't want to go to Florida with your family again because the dogs, or because I'm sure they're having a nice time wherever they're at in Florida, right?
They've had a lovely time. Their idea of a vacation and my idea of a vacation is very different. I do not want to spend all day on the beach. I don't want to sit and read a book with my feet in the sand.
You'd rather shovel 24 inches of snow without a snowblower.
I would.
I'm done with that argument. It makes no sense. None of our fans can understand your mentality on that. That's what makes you you. I'm not going to try to change you. I'm just going to continue to point out.
To ridicule.
I don't get it. Yeah. No, it's not ridiculing. I don't understand.
You know what is held up? You know what is held up really well during this storm, though? You know what's held up really well? My Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, baby.
Well, if you've been putting off replacing your windows and doors, well, you're a fool, because look at out there. Jason said it's 70 on Monday, now 24 inches of snow. That's what happens in Wisconsin, and if you need new doors or windows, Pella of Wisconsin, they got you covered. 0 interest financing all the way till 2032, 6 years. That's right, 0% all the way to 2032. You know, in Wisconsin, your home takes a beating year-round. Jason just mentioned how his house is taking a beating. Everybody, you have your stuff. You want to make sure you have comfort. You boost your energy efficiency, and you upgrade your home's look. That, of course, is with Pella's Windows and Doors. Again, 0 interest till 2032. Don't wait. Lord knows you shouldn't. Visit PellaWI.com today to learn more.
That was enjoyable. I'm glad that I could provide both content for Wisconsin's morning news and I don't have my
Jason, we're all just again, and we'll let the leave whatever bird lie.
Yes. Yeah.
Whatever bird lie. But for someone that doesn't miss a practice or anything, and then you guys go on vacation separate, and then you don't start. You're just such a complicated. You are the Aaron Rodgers of this show. You are so complicated, nobody can figure you out.
He's a complicated fella.
10 years into this, I don't have a clue what. I just don't understand you. God bless you. God bless you. But I don't get it. I don't understand it.
I am grateful that we are on the air. Thank you again to Hunter for braving the elements to produce our program.
0 oil rigs. I couldn't think of what else you'd stack up on books. Those books that you and what's-his-name didn't sell. You got all those old books sitting on the snowblower, not oil rigs. My bad for saying oil rigs.
For the record, for those of you that aren't in our private text chain, someone, Joshy, mentioned that there are 0 oil rigs at our house to be stacking on top of the unused snowblower, and I am here to confirm there aren't any oil rigs. More Wilde and Tausch.
There's no oil.
Stick around.
You could get...
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Looking up at the Marquette banners, brought to you by Saganiac Planning. Number 15 retired in honor of Butch Lee. He finished in 78, and the number retired the next season. It's hard to believe that any player could ever equal what Butch Lee did at Marquette. Part of the national championship team in 77, and the Final Four MVP, and the next season, the consensus National Player of the Year. So much success, it's not necessary to bring up any statistics. Number 15, Butch Lee, did everything. Running a business means taking care of your team and your bottom line. For over 50 years, Saganiac Planning has helped small businesses build smarter, more affordable medical and employee benefit plans. From health insurance to customized coverage options, our experts make it simple to protect your people and your future. Saganiac Planning, your partner in planning confidence. Visit SaganiacPlanning.com or call John Saganiac Jr. today to get started. 262-783-6161.
What's up, everybody? March 27th, go get your tickets. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be me, Tanasha Antetokounmpo, my co-host, Tony C, and Nature Boy. Woo! Ric Flair. It's going to be nice. It's going to be dope. You guys are going to love it. It's going to be an experience, and we're going to have a lot of fun. It's basically a party/podcast.
Yeah, we're throwing a party at the Riverside, March 27th, TALiveshow.com. Who's the guest again? Can I get a woo?
Woo!
With Ric Flair. Can't wait.
See you guys.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. Well, you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tauscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Heck yeah! It's ESPN Wisconsin's Alex Stroh for my friends at Robert Hack Diamonds. Listen, when it came to buying an engagement ring for my now fiance, I had no idea what I was doing, which is why I went to the team at Robert Hack. I heard her say words like radiant cut and solitaire, but to be real honest, I didn't really know what that meant. So I wrote it down, I brought it to the team at Robert Hack Diamonds in Greenfield, and they knocked it out of the park. It's true, if you've never been through this process before, the team at Robert Hack are absolute experts. 3 locations in the Milwaukee area, 1 in Greenfield, Brookfield South, and Brookfield North. If you're looking to take the next step like I did, and your girlfriend maybe is posting things on her Pinterest page or is showing you pictures, bring it into Robert Hack. They'll do their best to duplicate a dream ring for her, just like they did for my fiance. Moral of the story, if you were like me and you want to start, you just don't really know where, the answer's clear. Visit one of the 3 Robert Hack locations in the Milwaukee area. Just like me, at the end, you'll say, heck yeah, with Robert Hack Diamonds. And RobertHackDiamonds.com, that's RobertHackDiamonds.com.
At Citizens Bank, we believe banking is more than transactions. It's about being recognized and remembered. It's feeling like you're understood and supported along the way. It's the small stuff that says, we know you. Because when your bank gets you, banking just feels better. Citizens Bank. Bank where you belong. Learn more at citizensbankwi.bank/belong. Citizens Bank is member FDIC.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
I am not eager to check the YouTube comments.
Good idea.
The complicated fella. We've got a new complicated fella in town. His name's Jason J. Wilde. Jason, I got to ask you this. So, and we'll move. I'm moving it along. I'm
sure
know
you
get
will.
Uncomfortable. So, you know what is always interesting to me is this week of basketball, right? Where everybody is loving it. You take off of work. It's Thursday. It's Friday. It's Saturday. It's Sunday, and everybody says best week of sports ever. And I understand it's a super entertaining, but if we're being honest, people, you don't know any of these players, and I just put it out on Twitter. It's not the best weekend of sports. At least for most of our fans, I would say the wild card weekend or divisional playoff weekend is more in tune because you know more and you're probably more invested than with this. I'm invested in Thursday morning's game, which, by the way, we got screwed. Going out to Portland and playing at 11:50. I think we got screwed. We being Wisconsin. But as far as that goes, if you're picking, I'll ask you and Hunter, you're picking, you get a divisional, you get all, 4 games, whatever it is, be 4 games each, or you're getting Thursday and Friday of opening weekend where you have some 1 versus 16s. You're going to get some buzzer beaters. It's going to be nonstop. Which one are you picking?
So as the resident complicated fella, this is more complicated of a question now than it was. Because for most...
Of course it is.
For most of my life, Thursday, the opening 4 days of the tournament, not counting the first 4 that tip off tomorrow. Although congratulations to Miami of Ohio for getting in the tournament. And sorry to see that Auburn did not get in. I thought Bruce Pearl handled himself very well on the broadcast yesterday when they revealed
Is this
the brackets.
sarcasm?
No, I thought he did great because you're
being serious.
Yes, because he put himself out there,
okay.
obviously.
He did.
With his bias for his son who took over and for what he said about Miami of Ohio. And, as Jesse mentioned, I think on Friday, without you, Auburn lost in the SEC tournament, which kind of sealed their fate. Because Jesse had a great idea. He wanted Miami of Ohio versus Auburn in a first 4 game.
Oh, the NCAA would have eaten that up. That would have been perfect for them.
I thought that was a genius idea by Jesse.
Yeah.
But, no, seriously, I thought Bruce handled himself great because he was like, this did not go the way I planned. And so I thought he handled it great. But I have lost my zeal for the NCAA tournament. Last year, as you saw, and maybe it'll swing back somehow. But the last couple of years since the advent of the transfer portal and the NIL money that is being thrown around, the upsets have become less and less, right? The haves and the have-nots, the chasm has gotten larger. I saw Maryland, Baltimore County made it into the tournament. They won their conference tournament. And I think of that, the Retrievers who beat the first team to beat a number 1 seed, right? As Tony Bennett and Virginia loses. The next year they come back and win the national title. Great story. But those, I think there was I read a story on ESPN.com that last year was the chalkiest tournament ever. And if you don't have as much hope for those upsets, it's less appealing to me. So I am going to join your team on the divisional weekend for the NFL as being better. But I have nostalgia for what the opening 2 days used to be. Just wall-to-wall basketball. My parents wouldn't let me stay home from school for it, but certainly when I got to college, I just didn't go to class on Thursday and Friday of the NCAA tournament and just watched games. There was in the infancy of being able to stream games, I remember I was at Brewers spring training one year, and they had this thing where it was like old like H-line, V-line level graphics, where you had to stand in line. You were a little person, and you had to stand in line to be let in to watch games that were out of market on your computer. If anyone else remembers this, but I used to love the first 2 days, and really the first full 4 days of the tournament. And I'm going to go into Thursday and Friday with hope that there will be these types of games again, but I'm skeptical. It's not. It has lost some of its luster for me.
So,
yeah, Hunter?
I prefer the NCAA tournament because this also lines up with the WIAA boys state basketball tournament. So those 3 days of Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I think are my favorite 3 days in the sports calendar because I also have the high school basketball on top of that. I also want to go off the board, though. The stretches when we get the sports equinox in like October, where you get postseason baseball, you get the NBA, NFL, like you get everything in there. The NHL is started up, and you get all of those on like the same day, or in the spring if you get like one of the days with the Masters and things like that. I like those days even better than like wild card weekend.
Okay. Yeah, I look at it, and football is such king in our country that for everyone to just jump in, because I think most sports fans are similar in my mindset of wake me in March. We don't know any of these players. Like there used to be, like when it was Duke, UNLV, and you had some carryover year to year. There's no carryover. There's barely carryover on your own favorite team. Wisconsin, the carryover is pretty limited. So I get it, man. It's a fun and exciting deal, and it's fun to be in all these bracketologies. All that stuff is great and fun. But, yeah, for whatever reason, it's dipped for me. And now when people say it's the best time of year, that's great. But I don't subscribe to that theory. I don't. I am all in on watching Wisconsin. Hopefully they can win a couple and keep this thing rolling. But if and when Wisconsin gets eliminated, I couldn't have told you who won the championship last year. Till they said it. I didn't know. And I would bet most of us didn't remember that Florida won the national championship. Who did they play? Because it was yesterday and they all said it, I would have not known that. But in this case, let's not try and romanticize something that it's just different. It's not the same as it was. And the romanticism of it, it's a lot of fun action, but you're not that invested. Like, that's just how I feel. And I'm not going to tell you how to feel, but I'm also going to ask, let's take a little reflection and not just say things that were true 25 years ago. I don't know if they're still true today. For me, that's not.
So just for clarification purposes, does that mean you're agreeing with me with my long-winded answer? Is that what just happened there? That it's lost its luster because...
I started off saying I don't buy into it's the best weekend of the calendar year in sports. No, I'm out on that.
You never felt that way? You never felt that way?
Oh, I thought it was always great. And I thought, man, the peak for me was like 88 to 95. And maybe it's just my high school era. I love Big Nasty Williamson and Scotty Thurman, Christian Leitner, you knocking off UNLV where I knew every player. That was when it was great. And it was, could somebody take these guys down? You got the Fab Five, all this. That's awesome. That's not today's day and age. And you know what? It is what it is. But let's not romanticize that this is the best. When we all, I can't sit here and tell you when it's January and we have, unfortunately, the Packers haven't been in a divisional round playoff in a while. That, to me, is always the best because you got game after game and you're not focusing on 3 games at the same time. It's this, and then it's this, and then the next day it's this. And it's always really, well, it's not always, but it's usually really good, meaningful football. I'm a football guy, so that's probably what trumps everything else in this instance.
Couldn't you use this weekend of basketball, though, to then get to know the guys? Like, maybe you don't know them going in, but then this is where Thursday, after the Badger game is done, you're watching, Maryland Murray State, just because I saw that one pop up on the screen, and you learn about some guy on Murray State as they pull off the 12-5 upset, and you're like, oh, this is really cool. Like, you learn about a Jack Golke type of guy. Like, you could still use this weekend to learn about these players and get to know them through the weekend.
Sure. And it's the same thing. You go to a music festival and you're going there to watch the Killers. And, oh, this is a cute little band. The Goo Goo Dolls are there. Oh, I like the Goo Goo Dolls. That was fun. But that doesn't mean the Goo Goo Dolls are going to trump the Killers. So, to answer your question, yeah, it's cute. I enjoy learning. But if you are vested and feel like you're all in on something, you're going to be more intrigued to watch that than if, oh, that's a cute little story. Oh, I want to learn more about it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that can be. But then once you learn more about it, it's like Snapchat. It all goes away. They get knocked out and you forget about it, and then they're at a different school next year. They're playing in Europe. And what, are you going to go follow them in Lithuania? I'm not. So I'm out. That's just where I'm at.
Are you going to follow them in Lithuania was not a phrase I was expecting to hear today.
Well, how about I just loved the game on Saturday with the coach. The coach for who the heck beat us? Michigan didn't know Bieliauskis' name, so he just said, the big Lithuanian kid. And played the guy. We beat him. One of their 2 losses. You just scouted him. You know that you can't leave him open for threes, and you don't even know his name.
I don't know.
I don't know about that.
I think that's pretty common with these coaches. Like, I was just on the video conference call for the media for the state basketball tournament, and a lot of the coaches are like, yeah, that number whatever. Like, they don't know a lot of these guys' names. I think that's very normal.
Yeah, but that's
in high school basketball.
Conference, guys.
It's their own
I've had
conference,
other conference coaches talk about guys in their own conference, and they're like, yeah, that number,
he buried
whatever.
5 threes and cost them their first loss. They've only had 2 losses. You don't remember the guy's name that gutted you? Come on, man.
But I'm sure he remembered his number, and that's what they go off of. They're like, that number, whatever.
He remembered his.
I think that's pretty normal.
He remembered his nationality. You don't think that's weird? The guy absolutely guts you. You only have 2 losses on the year, and you don't know his name? I don't buy it. I ain't buying it. Don't like it. It's different.
How many threes did Austin Rapp hit in that game, by the way?
6-piece nuggie.
I tuned in just as he caught fire, and it was something to watch.
Oh, it would have been Rap City. It was. Yeah. Man, I thought we had him, but I'm in the same boat as you. I didn't want him to win, which sounds crazy to say. 4 games in 4 days when you're already beat up. I didn't know if we had enough gas in the tank to beat Illinois, and we go overtime. The way that the boys battled and competed against Michigan, like the scenario played out better because even if we won the Big Ten tournament, we maybe would have gotten a 4 seed. Maybe. So this worked out as good for Wisconsin as you could have hoped for.
All right, I still haven't heard about your big weekend in Chicago. I would like to hear some details of that, some of those dazzling details that Hunter gave us as he sped from Middleton all the way down to the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. We'll do that after you tell us about UW Credit Union.
Well, I love Wisconsin, and that is one of the big reasons why I'm a UW Credit Union member. Their team has been all about Wisconsin all the way back to 1931. They love making banking easy for its members, and they have that great, convenient mobile app. I met the guy that invented it. It is smooth and slick, and great perks like early payday. Get you paid a little bit sooner. Visit any of the local branches or visit uwcu.org to join and become a UW Credit Union member like I did. Federally insured by NCAA. Terms and conditions do apply.
We will get to Packers. We will not discuss snowblowers or dangerous drives down to the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. But I do want to hear about Tausch's big weekend at the Big Ten Tournament. We'll hear about that next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
At Big Fish Contracting, we want every home project to be a good story worth sharing. That's why we as a team aim to exceed your expectations. We can improve any aspect of your home. Everything from a complex remodel to the essential roof, gutters, siding, and windows. Integrity, humility, and kindness are why we've grown in southeastern Wisconsin for the last 2 decades. Visit BigFishContracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
Beautiful day for Brewers baseball. Brats in one hand, your Brewers checking card from Associated Bank is in the other. And with a tap, it's 20% off gear at the Brewers team store. An express entry so you can tailgate longer. And up to 50% off home game tickets. All that power, all for the crew. Only with Brewers checking from Associated Bank. Join the crew at AssociatedBank.com/Brewers. Member FDIC.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Burkhardt Sporting Goods has a great reputation for producing custom team apparel. We're total team outfitters and we can handle the biggest jobs. Our success in custom team apparel led us into group and corporate apparel. Plus, we have a full selection of promotional products for employee gifts, special events, you name it. And we've made it easy for our customers to firm up their orders. The group sale web stores that we build for our customers are a simple way of gathering all the information you need. They're easy to work, easy to understand, and with them you'll have access to nearly limitless options. We've seen that most times we're better priced than our competition on the same high-quality apparel choices that the other guys offer. Plus Nike and Under Armour choices that the other guys can't get. And we offer a huge brand selection from Yeti, North Face, and Carhartt too. This is Brian Burkhart. For team, group, or corporate custom outfitting and promotional products, it's going to be really hard to beat our prices, selection, and ease of buying for any size budget and every size company. And that's why we always say, you can't beat Burkhart. New Berlin and Fox Point.
Well, March hoops are here, and it is one of the best times of the year to be watching sports. And right now, download the Prize Picks app. Use code WI. You get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Again, code WI, and suddenly every dunk, every three, every big performance matters even more. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If your picks are right, you cash in. You can build lineups across basketball, hockey, baseball, college hoops, whatever you're watching. I like the flexibility, too. With Flex Play, you can still get paid even if one pick misses. Want a bigger payout? Go Power Play. And with early payouts, if your player gets off to a hot start, you can cash out before the game ends. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
Ben Brust here, and let's cut the crap. I've been sold a lie with sportswear, too. You pay a fortune for big-name gear, a fancy logo, a slogan, and it still stinks. Iron Jock doesn't play that game. Silver ion technology is woven into every thread, killing 99.9% of odor-causing bacteria. And now, through March 22nd, our listeners can get 40% off all Iron Jock hoodies with the code HOODIE40. That's HOODIE 40. Shop now at ironjock.com. That's ironjoc.com.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Wilde and Tausch rolls on. We'll get to some of the Packers news, including an interview that Ed Policy did apparently late last week, in which he discusses the possibility of naming rights for Lambeau Field, although I'm not entirely sure how close that is. He did not sound like that's something that he wants to do. He did float it, trial balloon, so we'll get into that a little bit later. Tausch, tell us a little bit about your trip before we play some trivia.
Okay, so went down there on Thursday expecting what I would think would be a relatively easy win against, I think we played Washington. That didn't work. So one of the things that's always tricky when you go to Chicago, and we're only going there for one night, 2 days, 2 games, you have to try and figure out, you're kind of gambling, right? Because if they lose, you end up with tickets to games that you don't really have any interest in, and you got to figure out, well, luckily we won. But parking is always tricky. United Center is a ways away from where we were staying. So what I think our plan was, we were going to have some Coors Lights, so we wanted to be responsible. So we looked around, and there's all this nice street parking down by the United Center, but pretty sure you're going to get towed. So we didn't want to mess with that. So Doc is one of the guys I went down with. He thinks we should park in a ramp. And I said, okay, but we have our bags because we were coming right from Madison, and the first game was at 11. So we were coming, boom, boom, boom. So we look around, and we find a ramp. You could park and leave the car like Indianapolis, which is why I love Indy. You literally drop your car. You're good for the weekend. You get back, boom, but everything's walkable. We could walk, but we can't take bags into our game. So what do? Do we want to walk the mile back from there to go and then Uber down? Well, our buddy Hatch, who's been a great contributor to the show, although not for quite a while, he is, we go to a lot of Badger games and we talk a lot of Badgers. So I text him knowing he was going to be down there. I said, hey, I don't know if you were staying, figuring he would park in one of those spots right next to the stadium that you have to leave after the game. Thought that's what he was doing. He said, yeah, we parked. The Badgers have this big thing going on at some Tiger bar. Meet me there. You guys can drop your bags. Well, it turns out he parked about a block and a half from where we parked. So it did us absolutely no good. We're walking down with our backpacks. All of us had packed pretty lightly. We walk down, we go into said bar, and Hatch is like, yeah, our cars are. I said, well, we're only like 2 blocks from where we were. But it ended up working out great. We ended up going, it wasn't even Hatch's car. It's Hatch's buddy's car. We didn't even know. So he gets his keys. He's got like an old truck. We put our bags in the back of the truck. We leave. But then after the game, we're all going to celebrate. I don't know what Hatch is doing. So I text Hatch again about an hour. It's like 6 or 7 o'clock at night. I'm like, hey, we need our bags.
Wait, it's
and
6 or 7 o'clock at night and you don't have your bags?
Oh no, we don't even know where our bags are because we don't remember where we put the bags. We knew they were close. So he said, well, we're going out to dinner. Where are you guys staying? And luckily we were staying somewhat in the vicinity. So Hatch ended up being
your concierge,
our Uber driver, basically our concierge. He brought our bags to our hotel a little before midnight on Thursday night. So we stayed out. We went and we grabbed a meal. We had some drink. We celebrated nicely for a while at this fun spot right by the United Center. So it ended up working out pretty great for us. And then we got up, went to the game on Friday, took our bags, got dropped off by our car, walked to the thing, and then we ended up walking back and got back late Friday night after celebrating the big win. So that is, in essence, I think the main part of where things got a little squirrely, but we ended up making them work.
So at no point you didn't, weren't wishing you could go back to the hotel and freshen up a little bit? Or
Oh, no, we did. We did, but that wasn't in the cards for this trip. It just didn't. That's not how it worked out. We did think many times how idiotic we were for walking the bags a block, realizing, because I legitimately thought as we were coming in, we were going to just park, and it was like $100 to park right next to the United Center, but you then had to leave, go get the car. You couldn't keep it there. We were looking at it like, let's keep it, because we knew we were leaving after the game Friday, regardless what happened. So we wanted to leave it in a ramp that we could keep it, not where we had to move it, take it back downtown, knowing we were going to have cocktails, so we wanted to Uber. So we screwed that part of the trip up.
Aren't there a lot of people that go for all the games, though? So they just couldn't park in that lot then? Because you
can park for that session. Yeah, you park in that session. It's like this. You can't stay in the United Center. The 2 games get done. You got to get out. New ticket holders come rolling in.
Right, but if let's say you just love Big Ten basketball, you have tickets for all the different sessions, you couldn't park there because they would have told you.
No, you could. You just have to come out and repark.
Sounds like you made the right call. I'm glad you got your bags, but that sounds like quite the travail. Not ideal, but good work.
It really wasn't that big of a deal. It wasn't that big. It was great for Hatch. It was awesome that Hatch took care of us. And then Hatch was only coming for Thursday. All of a sudden, I'm watching the game Saturday.
And there he's on
And
TV.
as Rapp keeps rolling threes, I see him almost front row going absolutely crazy. I had to actually scold him on Friday because he went out, had a fun night, and his juice wasn't where it needed to be. I literally called him. We were sitting like 2 rows apart, but I called him and said, "Get up. We need your juice for this game because we're down 15 to Illinois."
Right.
Hatch gets up, he's going, and then he is, like, you see him dead center frame right after what's his name, did that whole great soliloquy about Rapp. Hatch shows up, rooting, and we end up coming back almost beating Michigan. So he ended up audibling, probably leaving his car, I don't know what he did with his car.
Who brought him
And he
his
stayed
bags?
down there the whole time. I don't know if he had any bags. I think he wore the same outfit for 4 straight days.
Well, we're glad you're back as much as Jesse and Homer.
But this team, Jason, I'll tell you what, man. This team is just fun. They don't give in. They just don't give in. It would have been real easy to say, you know what, Friday, if we lose, no big deal. We're probably going to be a 6 or a 7 seed anyways. We're beat up. Nolan Winter ain't playing. We're down to a 7-man rotation. We had to empty our bucket a little bit against Washington, and we're down 15. They didn't give an inch, and the 2 guards, it was as our backcourt, and I don't say this lightly because John Tonje was an absolute stud as a transfer portal. I think Boyd has even been better. That sounds crazy to say, but that's how I feel.
I think the numbers actually back that up. It's not as it may have been crazy earlier in the year, but I don't know if it's as crazy.
And Jason,
now.
He just brings this confidence to this group because they're down, and he's sitting there, and I mean, he is getting everybody jacked up. Like it felt. This was why sports are so fun. We were in a section that was almost all Badger fans. We were getting after a couple Illinois fans when they were leaving, with about 7 seconds left in overtime. We were all just in awe of what was happening, and Boyd kept getting us cranked back up, getting the whole group in the United Center, which was filled with Illinois fans, jacked up. He brings that juice for a guy that's been here for 5 months. It's awesome.
To me, that's what's amazing. Like, you think about the 2015 team that made it to the national championship game and beat Kentucky. Like, those guys were all together, right? We knew them. Frank grew from a guy that didn't play at all to being a national player of the year, right? So that was a completely different era. But back-to-back years, Gardo has brought in a guy that you have to absolutely love. I mean, the guy, whether it's Tonje or Boyd, what they have been able to do in terms of immediate impact, there can't be many instances across the transfer portal where you've done that back-to-back with guys on basically one-year deals to be that special for your program.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. It's impressive what Gardo has done, his staff. As I said, walking out of the United Center, had Gardo not asked me to not do it, I really was close to decline.
I am so proud of you because you respected really Gardo's wishes. It wasn't Jesse. It wasn't me asking you not to do it.
And you guys were trying to bully me into it too. You guys tried to bully me. I don't mind that.
No, I didn't. I did not want you doing it. And when Gardo asked you, I was very happy. And now I hope that you are rewarded, and so is he.
We beat Arkansas Saturday. It's probably coming, though, just so you know.
Your proclamation.
We beat Arkansas on Saturday.
Well, let's just get them to the Sweet 16 first, because it's been a while for that to happen. All right, we need to play trivia. Hunter, I can only assume that you had no role whatsoever in the trivia questions.
You would be correct, sir.
This time it's because you jumped into action.
Yes.
This wasn't planned.
Yep, I had to brave the blizzard.
Jesse has the sports weekend recap. Caller number... I'm not going to do Final Four. Let's do 16 for... Let's get to the Badgers to the Sweet 16. Caller 16 right now, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Caller 16 plays trivia. Oh, no, Tausch, Justin Fields just got traded, and not to the Packers.
Oh! What?
Caller 16 for trivia. I'll tell you about it next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Don't miss a moment of the basketball tournament action this March at 3rd Street Market Hall. Home to your one-stop, must-stop viewing destination, 3rd Street Market Hall has over 20 locally owned food vendors, a 30 self-serve beer wall, over 50 HD TVs, plus game day specials. The perfect place to work remotely or catch a game between meetings or over lunch, 3rd Street Market Hall is your downtown home for basketball this March.
Mark Tauscher here, and you know I love a smart play from the pocket. That's why I joined UW Credit Union. With their mobile banking app, I can make smart plays from anywhere. And with rewards checking perks like early payday, I score my money sooner. Stop by any of their local branches or visit uwcu.org to join and make the smart play by becoming a UW Credit Union member like I did. Federally insured by NCAA. Terms and conditions apply.
You asked and Carbless delivered. The fan favorite grapefruit flavor now has its own 4-pack all to itself. That bold, bright, perfectly balanced citrus taste that you've been pulling from the variety pack, it's now front and center in 4 cans, 1 box. Crisp, refreshing, not too sweet, and nothing else has changed. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, just 100 calories and gluten-free. Clean ingredients and big flavor. Always no compromises. Grab the new Carbless grapefruit 4-pack wherever you get your Carbless and find a location near you at drinkcarbless.com. Carbless, bold flavor in every sip.
Look around your office. Does it look like 1994 called and wants its lobby back?
Most brands just show up, often amongst outdated decor.
At Captivate Exhibits, ordinary space is the enemy. Beige walls, faded graphics, that motivational poster no one reads.
That's not culture, that's camouflage.
Captivate designs and build spaces that don't whisper, they speak. They spark conversations. People lean in.
Stop blending in and start captivating today at CaptivateExhibits.com.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Game Night, so for Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
Hi, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Most contractors cut corners and disappear when there's a problem. Not us. Since 1997, we've completed over 60,000 projects, earned thousands of 5-star reviews, and were named 2025 Roofing Magazine Contractor of the Year. We set the standard for exterior remodeling. Trusted by homeowners, proven every single day. We're excited to show you why choosing Infinity means peace of mind. Visit infinityexteriors.com to see why your neighbors trust Infinity.
It's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart, located at 16th and National in Milwaukee. National Liquor Mart is packed with deals for all your beverage needs, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily.
The Bucks took down the Indiana Pacers 134-123 at Pfizer Forum on Sunday afternoon. Giannis Antetokounmpo had 31 points and 14 rebounds before having to exit the game late in the third quarter with a knee hyperextension. Here's what he had to say about his injury after the game.
I'm just going to go back home, sleep, see how I feel tomorrow, try to lift some weights, and if I have a little bit of discomfort, then I'll go from there. But as of now, I'm not bothered.
Bobby Portis also played a big role in the win, adding 29 points and 10 rebounds. Up next, the Bucks will host the Cleveland Cavaliers at Pfizer Forum on Tuesday night.
This has been the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN, brought to you by National Liquor Mart. You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
The breaking news from the NFL before we get to our trivia contestant who is appropriately in a plow Jeep. The New York Jets are sending Justin Fields, Tausch's choice, for the Green Bay Packers' new backup quarterback to a team other than the Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
They are sending him to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh.
Who seem to have had some
Andy Reid
success.
knows a little something about quarterback play, doesn't he?
I was just about to compliment you, but that's fine. Go right ahead.
Thanks. What did they get for him? I can't believe the Jets got anything. I thought they'd have to cut him.
2027 sixth-round draft pick. Now, for those of you that are aware, or maybe you're not, Patrick Mahomes tore his ACL at the end of last year, so he is coming back from that. And while Tausch was roundly jeered and criticized and made fun of and mean-spirited by people like
a lot of mean-spirited.
Cap.
He was tough on me.
Interesting that a team that has had so much success would think the same way that Mark Tauscher did.
Well, it just fits the model, man. Exactly what LaFleur would have wanted. I'm amazed they got a sixth for him, if I'm being honest. I thought that was going to be a cut because I don't know what base salary was owed to him, but I'm surprised if he's making more than a couple $1 million, which is what I thought Green Bay would pay him to be there.
He has a $10 million guaranteed base salary for 2026. The Chiefs will pay $3 million of that. So
okay,
the
2 or 3. So the Jets are eating the other 7.
Yeah, so it would appear. So there you go. That is the news from the NFL. Tausch's chosen backup quarterback is off the board. Justin Fields to the Chiefs. Time now for trivia presented by Cousins Subs and Iron Jock.
Wilde and Tausch Trivia is brought to you by Iron Jock, performance apparel that actually performs. No stink, just performance, and proudly Wisconsin built. Shop now at ironjock.com. And by Cousin Subs. It's lobster season at Cousin Subs. Their lobster salad sub is fresh, flavorful, and only here for a limited time. Try it today.
Let's welcome in our contestant. He hopefully is not behind the wheel right now doing the plowing, but maybe he is. It is Tex in a plowed Jeep. Tex, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. Good morning, guys.
So are you plowing as you do trivia?
No. I pulled over for a little break. I could actually use one right now. So we're on the side of the road just hanging out.
How long
Tex,
have you
how
been
is
at
it out there?
Yeah.
Tex, how long and how has it been?
So I left Lake Mills at 3 a.m. this morning. Got to Madison around 4. It's probably the scariest drive I've ever had to take into Madison. Started at 4, and looks like we'll be doing another round on the list before it's all said and done.
Well, thanks for taking us along. A little less dangerous for us on the roads, not for Hunter, though. And let's play some trivia while you take a little well-deserved break from your plowing. The Sports Weekend Recap question number 1 is this. Which team won the Big Ten Men's Basketball Tournament Championship? Was it Purdue, UCLA, or Tausch's squad of Badgers superfans?
That is going to be Purdue.
Purdue, indeed.
And I want to say I was totally Team Tausch on trying to get Fields here in Wisconsin, in Green Bay. That would have been a really good fit, I feel like. So that's a bummer.
Tech's a ball knower. You're a ball knower, Tex. That's why.
And a plow knower as well. Tex, question 2 is this. Which of these teams did not earn a number 1 seed in the NCAA Men's Basketball Tournament? Okay, one of these teams is not a number 1 seed. Is it Michigan, UConn, or Florida?
Oh, I'm not much of a basketballer. I'm going to roll the dice on Florida.
You are not a basketball knower. It is UConn.
Would it have been giving it away if I yelled, "UConn, do it!" before he answered?
It would have.
That would have given it away?
No, yeah, I think so. But I'm sure he would have
thought it would be
appreciated
illegal. I don't know the rules because Jesse's not here, but I think that's probably not allowed. So
does that mean they don't get enforced because Jesse's not here? All right. Tex,
we're just a little looser on him, I think.
Yes, that's very fair. Let's bounce back and get question 3. Here we go. And if you're not a basketball knower, I really don't like your chances for knowing a women's basketball matchup, which is the question in this one. Following her appearance on our show last week, head coach Kayla Karius and the Green Bay Phoenix earned a 13 seed in the NCAA Women's Basketball Tournament and will face which Big Ten opponent in the opening round on Friday? Is it Iowa, Minnesota, or Ohio State? Yeah.
Let's just go with answer C again. Ohio State.
Unfortunately, Jesse went back-to-back with B answers. So, alas, they will take
Minnesota,
on the Golden
I believe,
Gophers.
right?
Yes, indeed,
Yeah,
Minnesota.
They'll probably fill it up, get people up there, be a good, nice crowd.
In Minneapolis. Tough venue, I'm sure. All right, Tex. First of all, you only got one right, so you only got 2 entries into Friday's drawing. Secondly, in all sincerity, thank you for your service out there plowing. Be careful. And Hunter was wondering if he could just follow you all the way back to
escort.
Yes, a Tex plow escort back to Middleton.
I mean, maybe I could hit his driveway on my way back to the shop or something.
There you go.
I'm sure the people in my apartment would appreciate that.
Tex, good luck out there, buddy. We appreciate your loyalty to the show. Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Love you.
I love you guys.
That is Wilde and Tausch Trivia, presented by Iron Jock and Cousins Subs. The 10 o'clock hour begins in 2 minutes. So stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Hey Tom, I want a new hoop for the kids. Any ideas?
Yeah, I got mine from Precision Sports over 10 years ago. They helped me choose the right hoop, installed it, and even painted my court lines.
Nice. How do I reach them?
Easy. PrecisionSportsOnline.com for a free quote.
Wisconsin weather doesn't wait, and neither should you. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we make upgrading your home simple. Right now, order today and get 0% interest until 2032. You heard me right. 0% interest all the way until 2032. Upgrade your windows and doors now and pay over time without paying interest. With our 10-year limited warranty, you can feel confident in your investment. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. 3/31/2026.
People hear Horicon Bank and they think local instantaneously.
Over the years, was able to help them in their later years when they needed some care. So I would say that was cradle to grave experience for me.
We encounter precious moments like this all the time. We have a trust administration department that can help.
Our motto is together as a bank and as an organization, and then doing good.
There's amazing success stories of small business entrepreneurs who now are multi-million-dollar companies.
Horicon Bank, together doing good for 130 years. Member FDIC.
Your taste buds are in luck. The Reuben is back at Cousin Subs. Try this classic sub grilled to order just for you. Stacked with corned beef, Wisconsin Swiss cheese, and sauerkraut topped with Thousand Island dressing and served on rye bread. And our delicious mint shake is back. Both the Reuben and mint shake can be ordered via the Cousins app or online for a limited time only. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
Start your Milwaukee weight loss program now to lose weight fast. Many lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two. Call for your free consultation. 262-235-3980. 262-235-3980 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Results may vary.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. And it begins with Lambeau Field being renamed. All right, that's not exactly what the story is, but man, that is savvy headline writing to get this attention. So ed policy over the weekend, or at least it became known about over the weekend. I saw this on Pro Football Talk. The interview was with Ben Fisher of Sports Business Journal. And I actually think I made a reference to this. I can't remember if it was on our show while Tausch was out or on one of the other shows that I was appearing on. But, you know, you hear a lot about the concerns about private equity. I think it was on Jim, Matt, and Molly we were talking about it because we were talking about how the Bears' business is the Bears. Like, they don't have, like, this, you know, successful business like other owners that have made a bunch of money elsewhere and then they pour some of that money into the team. Their business is the team. And there's a lot of talk about private equity, and I believe the Dolphins just sold 1% of their team to a private equity deal. And since they're valued at $12.5 billion, that's a hell of a lot of money. And the Packers obviously don't have that in their financial arsenal. And so Ed Policy had made a comment when we met with him in the alumni suite in June that his number one job is to keep the Packers here. Now, again, I don't know why the NFL chose, other than greed, to let the private equity Fox into the henhouse. But this is what they keep bringing up, and I understand it is a legitimate concern. So then when you criticize them for raising ticket prices or what it costs for it's not a personal seat license, as we learned, whatever they're calling that, the seat rental, that stuff that money adds up for Joe Average Packers fan. But in this interview, Ed Policy does not paint the prettiest picture for what the Packers are up against. If you think about it, any other team, they've got deep-pocketed owners. We've heard that before. Most of them are worth significantly more than that, and they could sell less than 10% of their team, give up no controlling interest, and raise a heck of a lot more money than that because of private equity. Tausch, so the Packers are looking at what their options are, and at one point in the interview, Ed Policy says, we are soon to be the only stadium without naming rights. That's not a threshold we're looking to cross anytime soon, but we might be a little more aggressive with some of our other entitlement inventory we just haven't taken advantage of in the past, including things like the training facility entitlements and the Titletown campus. So basically, sponsorship of the Don Hutson Center being renamed for some sort of company for a revenue stream, and maybe changing Titletown. We know they've got the different gates at Lambeau Field that are named for partners. Tausch, when you read
more
this,
gates. I think they could use more gates.
I don't know if they.
Stop those big lines.
Like, do they build? They have to like cut out portions of the.
Just carve some. Yeah, just carve it out.
Tausch, when you saw this story, what was your immediate reaction?
Yeah, I mean, I understand where Mr. Policy is coming from, because it is becoming more and more daunting to try and keep up with everybody. But I think there's a couple of things at play here. You want to continue to look ahead and how you can drive growth, because the NFL has their operandus was to get to $27 billion of yearly revenue by 2025. I don't know if they've gotten there. I know when, I was on the I was an NFLPA rep, that was always the thought, and we were all looking at that point. It was still single digits, billions. We were like, oh, why don't, international game, you kind of knew that was part of their plan. But you kind of thought, well, boy, this thing, that's why you're starting to hear Wednesday night football. And that's why at some point, if the players don't put their foot in the dirt, this is going to continue to go. And I don't think the players are going to put their foot in the dirt, because they want to continue to get their paychecks. And they're not going to give a year up. You can't ask a 28-year-old guy in his prime to sacrifice a year of, bonko earnings. And the owners know that, and they're going to continue to beat us on that. And that's, everybody can say, oh, the union sucks and all this other stuff. Well, when you're in there and you see it, you understand why and how things play out the way that they do. So you're, from Mr. Policy standpoint, everybody else is doing that, and that's, whether or not that generates 10 to 15 million a year, is that really going to move the needle in the grand scheme of things? It's not. What is the Miami Dolphins getting a $150 million cash infusion and giving up nothing. And by the way, other teams said this same thing about the Packers with their ownership stock sales, thinking it was unfair. I can't imagine that you're going to raise that up to the levels of private equity, where you're going to start doing a stock sale, valuing it at $1 billion, and you're only going to put a certain amount of stock out. Like, I think that's a crazy idea. But they will do another stock sale when they can. But the Packers, the days of yesteryear are gone. I know people freaked out about when American Family Insurance did Dream Drive. Oh, that was sacred. Or when you start looking at, they got all these different gates, and they're doing this, and this is sponsored. Yeah, that's the way the world works. And if you want your football team to win games, you better find ways to generate revenue. I don't think, at least in the next decade, we're going to see Lambeau Field ever be changed. If they do something, it would be the field at Lambeau Field. I just don't envision Lambeau Field ever changing. I'll be shocked if that happens.
Would you be bothered if it did? Would it bother you if it did?
I would not like it. Yes, it would. But, I know last week we did the whole thing, and part of me is just so frustrated and flabbergasted that we're going to continue to just add football games and to do this. And we're now understanding that this is the entertainment business. This isn't the player safety business. This isn't, I hope this all works out. It is about entertainment and money. And if you don't look at it that way, you're going to be incredibly disappointed with all of the decisions that are made. That is what the decisions are made. And by the way, nobody is holding the players hostage, saying you have to do this. The players, if they really want to fight, they'll fight, and they'll get less revenue off of the percentage, and they won't have an 18th game. But I think we all know that that's not how it's going to play out. And when that is indeed the case, nobody has anyone to blame but themselves. This is what it is. So the Packers need to continue to find ways to make revenue and continue to grow, even though I believe there does come a point where it becomes non-productive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we're there, but the Packers, they're looking for projects. Like, they have to find different things. Did they need underground parking? No. Is it a great perk for the players? Absolutely it is. Do you need to have all of the things that they have? If you want to keep up with every other team, you need to make sure your facilities and everything that you offer players is top-notch. The Packers have always done that as long as I've been around, and I'm guessing they are looking for every way to continue to grow that advantage. And that's naming the football field. That will be something that I think they will wait and hold off as long as they can. But I'm guessing eventually it probably will happen.
Is there any part of you that thinks that this is potentially crying wolf? That this is...
Explain.
That with the salary cap that is in place, which obviously levels the playing field, with the revenue sharing that is in place, you can get an infusion of cash if you own the Dolphins, for example, but that does not allow you to pay your players more. That does not allow you to circumvent the cap. So is there... Look, they have Titletown, which is a smart thing, right? It is a revenue source for the franchise.
And it's been awesome for our fans, too. The fans I think it's been roundly applauded by all.
John Underwood, who was the team's longtime treasurer, RIP, used to talk about with us the three-legged stool. That was of finance for the Packers and all NFL teams, frankly. Revenue sharing, the salary cap, and then local revenue. And the reason why the Packers needed the Lambeau Field renovation that Bob Harlan fought so hard for was because they were falling desperately behind in that piece. And they're always going to be behind in that piece from the bigger organizations that are in bigger cities, because as much as I love Titletown, how often do you come up here to just go to Titletown? Like, my friends in Milwaukee don't, hey, let's take a road trip to Green Bay on a weekend in June, and we're going to go to Titletown, and we're going to go hang out. It's not a destination outside of the season.
It seems busy to me, but, you would know better than I would on that. I'll say this. I think the Packers have done a great job of doing what they do. They're getting more and more revenue from all of those off the field things.
Mm-hmm.
But the bottom line is the national TV money is only exploding, and if there becomes a point where it's like, is it going to be when everybody's making $20 million a year? Like, I don't know what the answer. The cap is going to be $1 billion per team. You're going to price fans out at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm just looking at it, and I've been very fortunate, to go to different games, and you get. We're paying $25 a beer down at the United Center. I don't know what beers are at Lambeau. At some point, people are going to cry uncle and say, "You're already." That's why we had the discussion
like me with the snowblower.
There's just, at some point, it's going to hit, and fans are going to be priced out completely. Don't know when that's going to be, because people love it and it's an entertainment, and Lord knows what's going to happen. Nope. The problem is there's just a ton of uncertainty in every line of work right now, and everybody is trying to figure out what is going to happen next, that's what Ed Policy is trying to do. And the best way to do that is every last dollar you can get, you go get at this point. And as AI and as all of these other things become more and more prevalent in society, there's going to be a change, and nobody really knows how it's going to affect everybody until it comes. And it's probably going to be quicker than you'd think. And that's why I think Ed Policy is looking at this and saying, we need to be able to keep up with the Miami Dolphins and with these other teams getting this, because their facilities, and now all of a sudden we're getting a C+ on child care. Well, we can't have that. We need to be an A, because we already are having a hard time getting players to come here. And then you start factoring in what happened out in Washington, where John Schneider now knows, and by the way, it is definitely going to affect them. The fact that they raised the state income tax from 0 to 10%, it will affect them bigly, and it will affect the state of Florida because they don't have any. Those things matter. And when you say that they don't, just because you have a certain belief on how things should be taxed and whatnot, doesn't mean that's the reality of the situation. So there is a lot of moving parts that goes on in the NFL world, and the only thing that you know for sure, you better keep growing that pot if you're a team. And if you don't, you're going to fall behind. And if you fall behind on that side of it, you're going to fall behind on the football side of it. And that's what everybody listening to us really cares about.
Right.
But if you don't keep up, you're going to fall off. And it's really hard, as we saw in the 70s and 80s. It is really hard. Once you fall off, that ladder is greased up with a bunch of stuff that doesn't work. And you got to find a way to climb back up, and it ain't going to be easy. So the best thing is stay towards the top so you don't have to worry about it.
I'd be curious if our fans are concerned. Like, we just spent the last 10 minutes discussing this. I feel like we've gotten given you a pretty good understanding of what Ed Policy was talking about in this interview. So my question is, are you worried?
How much of this is about the rent? How about the rent thing that's not cleared up? Is that part of this?
That is one of the things that they are definitely still trying to maneuver their way, I don't want to say out of, but out of. I don't want to be poo-pooing this. I think they have some legitimate concerns. I just find this to be a very difficult, fine line to walk, because the charm and appeal of the Green Bay Packers, owned by the fans, community-owned, all that stuff, it's starting to get to a point where it is hard for those people that have been the lifeblood of your organization, because of the way the league has trended, to be able to afford to go to games. We're getting these messages a couple weeks ago about, again, if you're selling all your tickets, we're going to revoke them. You don't own those. We own those, right? It feels
at least they're
like,
honest about it. At least they're being honest about it.
I feel like it is a very precarious situation where they are trying to keep up with the Joneses, but they're also trying to figure out how to not leave Ma and Pa Jones, who live in Ashwaubenon, behind. And nobody else in football worries about that. At the same time, there are a lot of teams that have to bust their tails to sell tickets to their games. And the Packers do not have that issue. They have a secondary market where they would like you to repurchase tickets that others aren't using, so they can get paid for the same ticket twice, which is good for them, as they get a cut of that. But again, I don't want to call this a scare tactic, because I don't think that's fair to say. But I am wondering how they are going to navigate this situation, where they both have to be able to compete, but they also have a bunch of fans that this ain't New York. This ain't Chicago. And the loyalty that fans have shown to keep the team going when they really were in danger of being bankrupt or being dissolved, it does feel like that there are a lot of fans that do get left behind. That's the way I view it. 844-770-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and Text line if you want to chime in on this. 844-770-3776.
Jason, and I just wonder, for everybody that's going to call in or text in, do we have a problem if it's Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin at Lambeau Field or Coors Light do we have a problem with that? Because as long as Lambeau Field is still there, I think people will kind of plug the nose and go along. But my thing is $10 million a year really moving the needle for the Green Bay Packers?
Yeah.
I mean, I know you could say, well, every $10 million helps, which is 100% accurate.
True.
But is that really kind of where we're at? I don't know. The whole conversation, and I was one of the poo-pooers when Ed Policy said to keep the team in Green Bay. Because they ain't going anywhere. I mean, it would take a monumental, failure to go anywhere. But people said that about Sears and Roebuck in the 80s.
And
they said, that place ain't going anywhere.
Uh-huh.
I don't know about you. I haven't seen a Sears and Roebuck in a while.
Whatever happened to Roebuck?
I think he's the same thing that – wasn't he the one that hosted American Idol with Steve Crest? Roebuck?
I'm not.
When they had two
sure.
hosts?
A little pitchy dog. So we've got a new we got some new material on Thanalysis. It appears there are fewer woos in the copy, but I'm going to keep adding them in because my vocal cords have really gotten to the point where they can handle it. Be there for the night that will have everyone talking. Thanalysis Live is back on March 27th at the Riverside Theater. It is loud and completely unpredictable, and there's no telling who will come on stage next because Thanalysis always brings out the stars. The Lopez brothers, Bobby Portis, Stephen A. Smith, and, of course, Giannis. This year, the Nature Boy Ric Flair is heading to the Thanalysis Live show, and if history tells us anything, he won't be alone. More surprise guests, more big names, more moments that will lead you to say, you just had to be there. Get your tickets now at taliveshow.com, taliveshow.com. That is the website, taliveshow.com. Thanalysis Live, March 27th at the Riverside Theater. Doors open at 6. The show is at 7. Milwaukee legends, nationwide stars. You never know who else is going to walk onto that Thanalysis Live stage. So be there. taliveshow.com for tickets. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
March is here, and the biggest college basketball tournament is just around the corner. Join Kyle Brust-Nortman live from Kips Inn on Wednesday, March 18th from 2 to 5 p.m. as we tip off the tournament with our friends from Screamin' Sicilian Pizza. Whether you're just finalizing your bracket, talking matchups, or just getting ready for the action ahead, come hang out with the KBN crew and enjoy fresh Screamin' Sicilian Pizza while it lasts. Lock in your bracket picks and set up for every big moment. The road to a national championship starts at Kips Inn with Screamin' Sicilian. We'll see you there.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. Well, you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tauscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Tired of waking up exhausted? That dad bod weighing you down? Let's get you back to the old you. If your energy, focus, and drive aren't what they used to be, your hormones could be out of balance. At Mentality, we'll dig into what's really going on, then build a personalized, science-backed plan using hormone therapy and peptide treatments to get your brain and your body back on track. So stop telling yourself you're just getting older. Book your appointment now at lowtusa.com. Right now, all new patient labs are covered in your treatment plan. That's a savings of $250. Go to lowtusa.com.
Feeling lucky? Then roll into Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee this March for Lucky Rollers. Every Thursday, we're giving away over $70,000 in prizes. Play with your Potawatomi rewards card for entries, and you could roll out with $550 in reward play. Or get lucky and win your share of $16,000 in cash. Lucky Rollers, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
UW Credit Union presents the Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org.
With your UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, I'm Will Summers. This week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week is Platteville Junior Grant Poppy. Poppy powered the Hillmen to a regional championship, leading Platteville to 3 postseason victories last week. He opened the playoffs with 12 points and 6 rebounds in a 76-66 win over River Valley. He followed that with a dominant 21-point, 14-rebound effort in a 71-50 win over Mauston. Then capped the title run with 27 points and 12 rebounds in a 72-61 regional final victory over Lodi. Earlier this season, Poppy also reached the 1,000-point career milestone as just a junior, cementing his place among the program's all-time leading scorers. Congratulations to Grant Poppy, your UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Wisconsin, let's keep this simple. If you've been patiently waiting for Yuengling to finally make its way here, thanks for hanging in there. If you believe a beer tastes even better after shoveling the driveway, mowing the lawn, or putting in an honest day's work, well, you're our kind of people. Wisconsin, it's finally here. Yuengling, oldest brewery in America, family owned and operated for 6 generations, and now officially in Wisconsin. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America. DG Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just for you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Four 770-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and Text line. Less is more. Before we get to calls, because I know we've got a few of them, and I know Hunter is already curating text messages as well. But an important question. Tausch, you know, you're a savvy businessman. You understand the marketing game. I guess I would, if Gina Della called me and said, hey, we're thinking about, the Packers have asked us if we're interested in the naming rights. My question for her is there any danger in becoming the business that puts its name on Lambeau Field and the backlash? Like, I'd be curious, first of all, if there'd be negative response. And secondly, like, nobody's going to call it whatever you're putting your name, Widget Stadium at Lambeau Field. No, everyone's going to call it Lambeau still. So I don't even know if this is a realistic financial option for the Packers.
No, I disagree. It would be sought after in a big way, and it would create value for whomever ends up doing that. Because we had these same conversations. I'm going to keep calling it Miller Park. Remember, everybody said that.
Yeah, but Miller Park was a brand, too. Like Wrigley Field, Wrigley Field, Fenway, Lambeau. There is only a handful that would qualify for this, but I would be curious if there would be a backlash for that company.
there would be a backlash initially, but in the grand scheme of things, this is the part that I think we can all agree that fans want their teams to win. That's it. And if Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin or AmFam Field or Fiserv don't do that, are you helping your team win?
No.
You're not. So, yes, there's initial backlash. Oh, it's the old days and all this other stuff. If the Packers didn't think it was going to help them win, they wouldn't be doing it. If the Bucs didn't think this would help them win, they wouldn't be doing it. And from a fan standpoint, we don't want to hear about how the sausage gets made. I'm fairly certain right now, the way we're having these discussions, people don't. There's intrigue, but it's not. Show me the baby. Show me the wins. Show me that we're making progress and that we're a feasible business. Because what I will tell you is, if they aren't doing things and they go bankrupt, everybody's up there's going to say, all of our fans will be outraged that we're a bunch of idiots that don't know how to do any business. Why didn't we hire people that knew what the hell they were doing? So while initially you do get backlash, the concept that you're going to hold a grudge and not go to Lambeau Field because there's another name on it, nobody wants to see that. No, nobody. But it's the reality of the business of sports now, is if you aren't doing things in a big way, you're going to fall behind. And all fans really care about when the rubber hits the road is, are we a good football team and can we win? Mm-hmm. All of this other stuff is third and fourth on the list. And to act as if, well, I am never going to Lambeau Field again because it's now Callahan Tire. Come on, man. I know you're going. If somebody's going to give you tickets, you're going to go. And you're going to go and you're going to enjoy it. And by the way, maybe that gets beer prices down $1. I doubt it, but maybe. It certainly is not going to have them go up.
No, I think they're still going to go up.
No, I mean, but it would go up higher if you don't have Callahan's money pumping into the deal.
Again, I am curious because, yes, they would say it on the telecasts. But again, I am a skeptic on this. I just am, because I think Lambeau Field, Fenway Park, and Wrigley Field are the anomalies. No one really cares what you call most stadiums, most arenas. Like
Is
a lot
it
of
Wrigley,
arenas.
A gum company?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Okay.
But it has the
last
history.
time I checked, is Lambeau like a peanut? Like, what is Lambeau? It's currently
It's a
Lambeau,
meat
right?
packing company.
Oh,
no,
okay.
I think there are a very select few where the investment for the company might not yield because no one's going to. Like, I don't know where they're at in Denver now. Right, they used to call it Mile High Stadium. I don't even know what name they're on at this juncture with that stadium, but there was
if you lived there, you'd know.
I understand. I just how many stadiums do you know in sports right now what they're called?
Let's play that game.
All right,
I
will
that
conjure that up. I want to get to a few of our calls. Okay, so we'll have to save the. What stadium name am I? Oracle Arena. We'll have to save that for a little bit later. Gruber Law Offices Stadium at Lambeau Field. What do you think? I'll talk to David about the idea, but the bottom line is, just like all you really deep down care about when it comes to the Packers is that they win. If you've been injured in an accident, what do you care about most? That you win your case and you get what you deserve because of it. And that's what David and his team have been doing for 4 decades. Go to the website, gruber-law.com, to find out more about the history of the firm, all the great lawyers that are there, and, of course, all the great things David does in our communities. We talked about the charity stripe at the Cole Center and all the money that goes to the Carbone Cancer Center at UW. There's a bunch of examples like that. Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all. 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666. Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all. Your calls, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Renaming Lambeau Field, and how afraid are you of the Packers' financial future after this interview by Mr. Policy? We'll take more of your calls next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Amber Wilson.
I don't know, off of just last season, how you're already out on J.J. McCarthy. The body of work doesn't seem long enough to me. We're not giving patience to these quarterbacks. We're going to extend patience to Kyler Murray, a guy who flamed out in the league in regards to his expectations coming in as a number 1 overall pick. We're going to give him patience in Minnesota, but not the guy that you actually spent your draft pick on. That guy we're going to punt after what we saw in a snippet of a season, because we've decided to bring in this other guy who is now being let go at his team that drafted him. This is what we do with these quarterbacks. And I don't think the J.J. McCarthy issue is that he needs a fire under his butt, and so we need to bring in Kyler Murray so there's competition in the locker room. That's not what's going to happen here. What's going to happen here is you bring in Kyler Murray, it's going to crush the confidence of J.J. McCarthy, and it's going to end J.J. McCarthy in Minnesota.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text AREA to 42424 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text AREA to 42424. That's AREA to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price since 2009 on Verizon's 5G network. Cause shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years, that means something.
Now plans starting at $25 a month with 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Same price claim applies only to the base monthly price of our $45 plan from October 2009 to present.
Progressive knows that for business owners, vacations hit different. But hey, at least you finally took a vacation. And look at that. You only answered 53 calls, 84 emails, onboarded 1 new hire, and covered for Chris while he's out on paternity leave, and you did it all from a kayak. Because you, my friend, know how to relax. All right, you may not know how to take a day off, but you do know both your personal and business auto insurance needs can be covered in one place with Progressive. So at least that's relaxing, right? Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states or situations.
Wisconsin weather doesn't wait, and neither should you. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we make upgrading your home simple. Right now, order today and get 0% interest until 2032. You heard me right. 0% interest all the way until 2032. Upgrade your windows and doors now and pay over time without paying interest. With our 10-year limited warranty, you can feel confident in your investment. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. 3/31/2026.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after. An in-depth recap of every Bucks game. In 6 minutes. No more? No less. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. If you missed any of the game or just want to relive the biggest moments, Bucks in 6 provides game recaps every morning after. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis or the deep threes from Miles Turner. And catch the comments post-game about what happened on the court. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
a couple of calls while I have been going down the list of NFL and NFL stadiums and NBA arenas. I can tell you this: there are some NBA arenas that I was not familiar with. Also, can you name the other two NFL stadiums that are not named for a company, corporation, etc.? Can you name the other two? Soldier Field is one of the other two.
Well, and I don't know if Bills Stadium, does it still count that it was because they haven't moved into their new facility yet?
Good question. I think they're naming it just like they were before. I think it's going to be the new.
No, it's Highmark. They moved it to Highmark. Paid big money to be the sponsor.
That's what they. That's what they are now. That's where they play now too.
Oh,
it's called Highmark Stadium. Yeah, they renamed.
I thought it was like the old owner.
Ralph Wilson Stadium was renamed Highmark Stadium, and now they're carrying the name to the new building. And here's the other. I'll just tell you the other one so we can get to the calls. Arrowhead, but I know there's some sort of there's some sort of naming rights deal with them.
Yeah, that doesn't count. Lambeau and Soldier Field are it.
Yeah,
for now.
And when they move to Hammond, it'll be something else. Let's get to a couple calls here. Let's start with Jeremy in North Carolina. Jeremy, thanks for holding on. Welcome to Lambeau Field, presented by the Pickler.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Love you guys.
Thank you. What do you think?
Well, I just recently retired from the military, and I moved away from Wisconsin because I grew up around the Dells area. And it was 2024, and we were going back for our first Christmas, me and my family. And my brother said he could get me tickets to go to the Week 18 game. And then he told us the price, and everybody in the house kind of you could just feel the vibe in the room hit the floor because we knew that was too expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And that would have been all of our first game. So that's all I've got, gentlemen. Thank you. I appreciate the show. Thanks for taking the call.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of people like Jeremy. And you can tell me.
Well, he's out in North Carolina too. So you start factoring in
travel,
like the Super Bowl, and that's why I fought so hard. Like this whole NFC Championship game being in a neutral site.
No,
never, ever, ever should happen because it will get more corporatized, and it's just a horrible idea. And if that does happen, I am going to say right now, if that ever happens, that Green Bay is the 1 seed, they don't get to play at Lambeau Field, presented by whoever, and they have to go play in the Dome in like Atlanta, I'm not covering the game. I'm not going to watch.
Fight the power.
Period, Finn. And I hope all of the other media will acquiesce with that because it would be ridiculous. I know you guys won't, and you guys got mouths to. I get it. I don't agree with it, but that is another piece to this. Jeremy is like a lot of fans. It's starting to get where it is really, really expensive. It's always been you knew there were costs, but you were going to go because it is a great environment. Listen, being down at the games on Thursday and Friday, it gives you energy and a vibe you don't get anywhere else in society. Being a part of a group, like if you're not a player, like I was blessed to be a player.
Yeah.
And I know the feeling when you're in that locker room and you're on the road and you get that community that you have. That's why I love high school sports. It's because you get that. When you're done and you just start working jobs, you don't get that. Sports is our last bastion. It's awesome. It was a great day and a half down in Chicago because you felt that everybody was just all rowing the boat in the same direction. Pardon my PJ Fleckism. But that is the vibe that we got. And that is a special thing, and it is a price that you're going to pay. But at some point you can't. And then that goes away. Like, we don't have a lot in society that brings us together that gives you that vibe.
Sense of community.
We still have it. We still have it in sports in a limited fashion, and I am worried that is going to price itself out of having people not be able to do it, and that does suck.
Let's get to one more call, and then we'll get to some texts on the Carbless Talk and text line. Let's talk to our buddy Levi. Levi, good morning. Hunter has you in Stevens Point. Is that your location?
Correct, Jason.
Okay. Just want to make sure. I always thought it was Plover.
Yeah, I know. It's been like that for a few years on the ESPN Madison's whatever on their computer system, whatever it is. But anyway,
fair enough.
So, hey,
how do you feel about renaming Lambeau Field, Levi?
I honestly don't like the idea, but I know that even though I don't know anything about business and stuff, but I just like it what it's called, what it is with Lambeau Field because it's still iconic for a very long time, and I just don't want to see it named something else, or maybe it'd be weird if they would call it Quick Trip at Lambeau or something else, or I don't think they would name a stadium named after Tausch because that wouldn't work. Well, I'm just joking, of course.
No,
but
it would not.
Well,
Levi, here's the question I have, and I brought this up earlier.
Yeah.
We all want what you just said. I think all of us that have been a Packer fan for a long time or new Packer fans. But if it helps our team win and it is Quick Trip at Lambeau Field, are you okay with it? Or is it just, no, I'm out?
Well, I'll still go to a game, even though I went to my only game back in 2024, 2 years ago. That was the only game I went to. But I'll still go to it if it's called that or whatever. But it's still going to be Lambeau Field regardless. But, you know.
Well, you better start selling a lot of those stolen mouses to make the payment.
Well, Jason should have taken you up to that Viking game. That was an affordable ticket up in Minnesota. They actually paid you to go into that game.
They were giving those away, that's for sure. Thanks for the call, Levi. We appreciate you, buddy.
Love you guys.
I do want to play.
Love you, Lee. And I'll tell you what, they got hammered. That potato corridor got hammered with snow. Hammered.
I am scrolling.
Why don't you give Levi that snowblower? Let Levi take that snowblower. He'll use it.
Who plays at Paycor Stadium?
Paycor
that's
sounds. Easy. Is that Cincinnati?
It is Cincinnati, yes. I'm trying to figure out, do we play this game, I tell you the team and you tell me the venue, or do I tell you the
name
venue,
the venue
and you
and
tell
I
me
tell
the
you the
team?
Venue. It's venue, for sure.
Okay. You want to do another one before we go to break?
Sure.
Everbank Stadium.
Jacksonville.
I find myself skeptical that normal people are able to play this as easily as we are because of our job.
We're not normal people. We talk NFL football 365 days a year.
Right. That's what I think you just agreed with me.
Tausch, you just got mad for agreeing with him.
I'm not mad at him. You act like we shouldn't know these things. We should.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if normal people, it's as easy as it is for us because of what we do for a living. Huntington
Well, how many
Bank.
are you going to get? I actually want to run through and see how many you get. But I'm guessing you already looked at the list.
Well, I told you I was going to play the game.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I
can
do
tell you
baseball
this,
fields.
the Milwaukee Brewers play at American Family Field. They're a great partner of theirs and a great partner of ours.
And just like a great team, you need great protection. American Family Insurance knows your family needs it too. You know what? There was hail. I know we got hit with hail. We got hit with sleet. We got hit with snow. And American Family will be there for us. That's why they make life better by protecting your dreams with the right home and auto policies. Insure carefully and dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com.
More Wilde and Tausch presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and by American Family Insurance next, so stick around.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. The Brew Crew are back on March 26th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they open up the season against the Chicago White Sox.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness, third deck.
Brewers opening day is presented by Construction Business Group. Tune in March 26th at 1:10 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
From office lunches to family celebrations, Cousin Subs has the crowd-pleasing catering you need. Choose from customizable party boxes, individual box lunches, fresh-baked cookies, and our classic party chips. Everything you need to satisfy any size group, big or small. Ordering is easy online or on the Cousins app, so you can focus on the fun, not the food. Cousin Subs, we believe in better.
Make your fitness goals last with Johnson Fitness and Wellness, the largest specialty fitness retailer in the country with 5 locations in the Milwaukee area. At Johnson Fitness and Wellness, you'll find top-rated treadmills, strength equipment, ellipticals, bikes, and more, all guided by certified fitness experts who match the right equipment to your goals, space, and budget. And with white glove delivery and installation, plus flexible financing options, you can build your home gym with confidence. Visit one of their stores today or online at johnsonfitness.com.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products pricing and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Now there's a new way to take charge of your blood sugar. Introducing new Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula from the makers of the nation's best-selling garlic supplement. New Garlic helps maintain healthy blood sugar levels with clinically supported levels of garlic, plus a custom blend of vitamins and minerals, and it's odor-free. Take charge of your blood sugar with new Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
The tournament is here, and Total Wine & More is your slam dunk headquarters. Whether you're cheering courtside from your couch with crisp craft beers, smooth bourbons, or refreshing seltzers, we've got the perfect lineup to keep your watch party winning. And just like your bracket, we've got a lineup full of contenders. Whether you're picking favorites or going for bold upsets, our friendly guides will help you find amazing drinks for every matchup. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21. 1896, Horicon Bank first opened its doors. Wisconsin wasn't even 50 years old.
We've maintained our roots over the years and yet expanded.
We empower our people to invest in the community. We give them 40 hours of volunteer time.
We're doing it with a personal touch, with a desire to say yes to our customers.
You shouldn't have to work with a bank that sends their profits to New York City or Toronto. You can keep your money here and it benefits Wisconsin.
Horicon Bank, together doing good for 130 years. Member FDIC.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
People.
We're not normal people. That was the whole point. Wilde and Tausch back with people. You. Hunter has found himself a new hotkey.
Yep. I'm going to have so much fun with that one.
Who plays? You said you had the Paycor Stadium, right? Paycor? Who plays at the Paycom Center?
Oh, Orlando, maybe?
No. The Oklahoma City Thunder. Who plays at Mortgage Matchup Center?
That can't be real.
According to the list in front of me.
Matchup?
There's a National Basketball Association team playing at the Mortgage Matchup Center.
Charlotte.
Phoenix Suns. Who plays at the Moda Center?
Moda.
Moda.
Yeah, I don't know. Sacramento.
No, the Portland Trailblazers. This who plays at the Smoothie King Center?
That's Louisiana.
New Orleans. There you go. You got one. How about Xfinity Mobile Arena?
Memphis?
Philadelphia 76ers. So, we know our NFL stadiums. Clearly, we don't know our NBA arenas, and I would not have gotten these either. So, the Kaseya Center, are you familiar with that venue?
Nope.
Kaseya Center. I know Evan Cohen is familiar with it because his Miami Heat play there.
Yeah, that used to be American Airlines for a long time. That was back when D. Wade was playing there.
Mm-hmm. One more, because
I'm bored with this. Yeah, I'm bored. You guys are bored. We're not normal people. Yeah, this is boring.
Oh, it's boring now that it's not that we don't know them.
Yeah.
Okay. Frostbank Center, your last chance to end on a positive note.
I'm bored. I'm out.
You're quitting?
No, I ain't quitting. I'll say Oklahoma City.
We already had Oklahoma City at the beginning.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to quit, though. I'm going to keep fighting.
Who plays at the Annex Wealth Management Arena? We do.
Yeah, we do. I'm trying to find my Annex Wealth Management here, and I just got it. We got a fun thing coming up in April. I think it'll actually be advertised that way. We've had a bunch of fun webinars, and when you did your taxes this year, did you notice things looked a little different? Well, it's because there are a bunch of changes, including new deductions. There's a car loan interest deduction, a tax deduction for tips, a tax deduction for overtime pay, and a senior bonus deduction, and the standard deduction is higher for most people as well. Form 1040 added a new Schedule 1A to claim new tax breaks. That's not all. There are even more. There's a time in my life I figured I'd take every break. Less taxes is better, and that is true. But make sure you have good tax planning. That's where you can really save, like they do at Annex. They take into consideration where you're headed, what your goals are in the next few years and in retirement. When you take the long view and have a plan built by experts, it makes sense to consider when you take all the breaks and how you do that. Go ahead. Get in touch with the great people at Annex Wealth Management.
The 11 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes, so stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Mark Tauscher here, and if you know me, you know I love Wisconsin. That's why I'm a UW Credit Union member. Their team's been all about Wisconsin since 1931, and they love making banking easy for members. Whether it's with their convenient mobile app or with the great perks like early payday to get you paid sooner. Stop by any of their local branches or visit uwcu.org to join and become a UW Credit Union member like I did. Federally insured by NCAA. Terms and conditions apply.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Game Night, so for Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
It doesn't get any headlines. just to be silently good. Big Fish Contracting, we say renovating homes, redeeming an industry.
It's so much more than just, okay, we're replacing your roof.
We're not only educating homeowners, but we're getting to know them and allowing them an opportunity to get to know us. And there's just such beauty in it, you know? If anyone is considering reaching out to us,
or you can check us out on our website, bigfishcontracting.com.
Your brand doesn't need more square footage.
It needs more wow.
When you work with Captivate Exhibits, trade show booths become magnets. Lobbies become living stories. Break rooms become culture builders.
Captivate creates experiences people don't just see, they feel.
For more than 30 years, their award-winning team has transformed big ideas into bold brand moments that command attention and drive results.
Stop blending in.
Start captivating.
Visit CaptivateExhibits.com.
We are the home for all your Brewers coverage. 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee. A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. And it begins with a Feel Good Monday story. Not Feel Good Friday. We had Feel Good Friday on Friday. But this is from WISC TV, News 3 Now in Madison. I don't know if you saw this, old boy. But overnight, there was a Madison mom who went into labor during the blizzard. Madison Fire Department Medic 11 and Engine 11 from the fire department were dispatched to her house. She was in active labor. And so I don't know if Big Linda was the driver of said plow, but the Madison Streets Division sent a plow, much like we were trying to get Tex with his Jeep for Hunter to get home, and paved the way, quite literally, to get her to the hospital to give birth. Now that is a feel-good story. The snowplow driver making a huge difference. Madison Fire Department expressing
Kudos to
its
those
gratitude.
drivers. And at some point, I'm sure they're grinding out there right now. I don't know when the snow is going to stop, but always appreciate what those cats do, man. It is not easy work, and kudos to them. Jason, what does the last couple of weeks, and I know the free agency signing things have kind of ended, what do the last couple of weeks tell you about what Goody thinks about this team? Because I just saw Zaire Franklin got more money. I think he's probably going to be around for 2 years. And they're signing old players. I wasn't here when the Hargraves announcement happened. But what does this tell you about where Goody sees this football team? Why is he doing it? Why has he changed his tune, if you will?
Okay, well, first of all, I think we have to be a little bit careful because there are basically two examples, which is two more than had previously been on the other side of the line of demarcation. But to your point, this was
First
something...
week of free agency, though. That's prioritizing.
This was something that we discussed while you were down at the Big Ten tournament extensively. A couple things. First of all, they have holes that they need to fill, and they wanted to fill them without breaking the bank to do so. And Hargrave feels like a special case. Both of these guys have history with Jonathan Gannon. Zaire Franklin was with him in Indy, and obviously Hargrave was with him in Philly. So there is some connectivity there. So I wonder how much of their experience with Jonathan Gannon factors in to them being here. Secondly, I'm not willing to call it a trend yet. I'm willing to call it exceptions. Because if we see now in the inexpensive part 2 of the free agency market that they do more of these, then I'm willing to discuss the possibility that Goody has abandoned his mentality and there's going to be a bunch of 30-somethings on this roster. You're right. These are two outlier players. Benjamin St. Juste is 29, I think. Another person you can put in this category, because they've given him $43 million over the 12 months that they've had him, is Aaron Banks, right? Because you cut him after this year, and the dead cap is going to be really pricey. So he's basically here for this year and next year, most likely. He will be over 30 for next season in 2027. He will turn 29 on September 3rd. So I'm not willing to go so far as to say that Goody has chucked his mentality when it comes to how he builds a roster, but he's made two exceptions at positions of need.
So you said this last week, and I thought it was really good. I thought it should have been sound graphed and clipped. The draft and replace. Thought that was a real, because it is not draft and develop if you're only keeping on average 1.4 guys from each draft class. So if the new trend is we're going to sign one or maybe two guys from draft classes, pay them the money that is owed, which is going to be top of the market more than likely if you end up signing guys. And then the new thing is we're going to draft the replacement but allow for some growth by having veterans that are ready to win now. That seems to be, at least for this offseason, and you know how things go. If it works, you keep doing it. If it doesn't, you revert and you do something different. That feels like where Goody's head's at.
Again, if he does more
guys
of it.
he was not going to pay. He was, well, these are two guys you're bringing in. You're not going to have, these guys aren't going to be wallflowers. I don't know if they're going to start. I think Franklin will. I would think Hargraves probably, if he doesn't start, is going to get a lot of work. You're not bringing guys in to be, bit players. These guys are going to be, they're counting on being big contributors to what is a championship team. And Goody in the past, Ted Thompson would have just drafted, he would have probably signed Quay, but he would have drafted young guys and hoped by November, December, you'd coach them up and they'd be ready to go. Goody is now, I think, after the finish of the last two seasons, I think he is saying, we don't have that luxury. We saw it with the kicker a couple years ago. This team is on a trajectory. If you want to win, you better have guys in the positions that can help you win now, not this, we're going to all grow together. We've grown. If you can't catch up, you're gone. And we need somebody that can come in and fill the role to fit what we're looking for. That's what it feels like to me with what we saw Thursday, Friday of last week.
So, first of all, I think the Zaire Franklin signing, let's be honest, this guy has been a very good player during his career. At the same time, if Tyron Hopper, in the draft and develop and replace philosophy that has been, right, you got to let young guys play. If I look at that, I say, do they not think Tyron Hopper's ready to be a starting linebacker? Because
certainly doesn't feel like it.
He's a third-round pick. And again, your expectation with third-round picks is that they make up critical pieces of your team. And the fact that you traded for Zaire Franklin would imply, like, they didn't just sign him off
and
the
added
free
money
agent
to the
market.
contract.
Right.
And added money to the contract.
Well, it sounds like he ends up with the same amount of money, but the way they structure it, there's again, they clearly expect him to be a starter. Now, also, we still don't know exactly what their defense is going to look like. They're going to play some 4-3. They're going to play some 3-4. Is it Edger and Cooper and Zaire Franklin, and they're playing a 3-4, so Isaiah McDuffie's the odd man out? I don't know. Isaiah McDuffie, when Quay Walker wouldn't be available, Isaiah McDuffie wore the green dot. So is that a factor of who's on the field? Are they going to use Edger and Cooper in a way that they have not previously used him? Quay Walker got to Las Vegas and basically made it sound like he should be much more utilized as a everywhere play him, line him up at the edge, line him up everywhere kind of a player. And he certainly implied that he was not used properly during his time in Green Bay. We'll see. I'm not sure the Las Vegas Raiders have a great track record of bringing out the best in players that land there for big money contracts. So we'll see. But again, I think he certainly has done some things that you say, who are you and what have you done with Brian Gutekunst? At the same time, those two signings.
And why is he doing that? Jason, why? Because you're right. Why? Why is he doing what you just said? Why is he going out of character now?
So part of it has to be that this is what Jonathan Gannon wants in his defense. You have a new defensive coordinator who wants people that are a little bit different, it would appear. Again, not a conversation I've had with Jonathan Gannon yet. Secondly, you have to do this when the draft picks that you want to go through growing pains and come out the other side as productive players have yet to do that, right? At defensive tackle, after trading Colby Wooden, after trading Kenny Clark, what do they have right now? They have Devontae Wyatt, who's not really a run stuffing. He's more of a explosive, get to the quarterback interior pass rusher. He's a good, not great run stopper. Is that a fair characterization of his game? He's had injuries the last couple of years that he's dealt with. After that, they were bringing guys in on a weekly basis, trying to fill that void last year because of the injuries. But they've got Nazir Stackhouse. They got Warren Brinson. They've got Carl Brooks. That's what they have. So they needed somebody. Hargrave makes perfect sense. Again, his contract is 2 years.
So you think this is more? Go ahead. 2 years at what? 14 a year.
At $23 million. But again, I think it's structured in a way that they'll most likely. Unless he plays extremely well, it's more of a 1 year deal with a second year tacked on.
So do you think this is more a matter of different scheme, or do you think this is more a matter of a different mentality by Goody?
Yeah, I'm not willing to say it's a different mentality of Goody yet. I think he's made some exceptions. And as you say, if you make too many exceptions, then you end up with a team full of exceptions. But if there are more instances of this, if they add more guys that get cut by their previous teams and become available, that don't factor into the compensatory pick equation, who are in their 30s, then I am willing to say that this is a trend. I think they have filled 2 spots on their roster with veteran players who are over 30, but I think if Goody drank some truth serum or had a few Yinglings, he would say, I don't want to be doing this. I wish we didn't have to do this. I would rather not have to go get Zaire Franklin and sign Javon Hargrave. I think that's what he would say.
Quay Walker. Well, then
because I don't think he believed Quay Walker was a good enough player to get the kind of. They did try to sign Quay Walker. Let's not lose sight of that.
That's what I heard. I heard it was reported. Yeah.
They had an offer on the table during the season. They tried to sign him after the season ended. He wanted more money, and he got more money from the Raiders. So, again, to be fair, he pivoted to trading for Zaire Franklin when it was finally clear to him that, look, he's not going to take what we're offering. We're moving on. Just like Aaron Jones is not taking our low ball offer. We're going to pivot to Josh Jacobs. Goody's good about pivoting. Give him credit for that. But again, if Quay Walker takes the money that the Packers are offering him, they're not trading for Zaire Franklin. Right?
I would think not. No, I would think not.
So I'm not going to say there's a trend yet.
Yeah, it's just unique, and I just wonder how much of not finishing seasons, the last 2, with young players that didn't develop into what you hoped, how much of that plays into this, or how much of this is about Jonathan Gannon needing different body types. I don't know the answer to that. You talk to people up there. I don't know what exactly their philosophy is going to be, but I do know they couldn't be happy. That Ravens game would stick in my craw if I was them. That can't happen, even though that was an outlier. But it just seems so different and out of character for how Brian Gutekunst has built rosters. I don't want to get older if I'm building a football team. I don't think Goody does either.
If this is the end of it, are you good with it? If this is the end of it, he's adding these two specific 30-something players to fill specific needs, and he's not going to go hog wild on the Wilde general manager approach.
I'm fine with it, but what I'm saying is I think when you believe a certain way and all of a sudden you've been rocked a little bit off of, whatever it might be, if young guys haven't developed or however you want to look at what has transpired the last 2 seasons, I'm guessing this is more a structural, we need different body types, but I don't want to count on 30 and 30, 30 and 30. How old is Hargraves? 32?
33.
33. I just don't want to be in the business of counting on 30 and 33-year-olds of giving me 17 weeks and being good for the playoffs. That's not an area you need. So if it is more platoon, more rotation, I am great with bringing in some veteran players, but that's how I would look at it. I am not Goody has never shown an inkling to do that. I appreciate that he is willing to change course and to do some different things, trying to get different results. But I find it very unique that and we don't know. The offseason's just not even a week into this yet. There's still a lot of holes to fill in this roster.
So you do not think he went out and got these two players because he thinks he is a couple of players away from winning the Super Bowl, and he was willing to go against his normal philosophy to get veteran players because they showed some immaturity late in the season?
Jason, I'm trying to figure out why he's doing it. I don't have the answer. I'd love to be arrogant enough to say I had the answer to this. I find it very, very intriguing that he's going against. Now, 1 is 1, 2 is 2. You start getting into 3 and 4 different guys, that tells me you're having a little bit of a philosophical change.
Right. I agree.
Now, you got these guys at good prices. I'm not yelling at you. What are you getting mad at me about? I'm trying to sort through in my head by asking a 30-year sports writer what he's hearing and seeing, and what I'm trying to find out from you is Jonathan Gannon want these guys, and is that why they're here, or is this Brian Gutekunst saying, we're too immature on defense, we couldn't pull out of it, we couldn't stop the Bears from scoring 25, we need some veteran leadership that can come in and do it? That's the question I'm posing. I don't know the answer. I don't know why you're yelling at me. It's not very nice.
My point is that after 2 players, I don't see a trend. It's literally what you just said. If it starts being 3, 4, 5 players, the conversation changes immensely. Yes. That was my point, and you agree with it, clearly.
Yeah, it's a great point.
Just like we agree on Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Again, yes, we do. And if you've been putting off replacing your windows and doors, I don't know what you're waiting for, because this deal is unbelievable that Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin has right now. 0 interest financing all the way to 2032. That's right, 0% interest for 6 more years. Zaire Franklin will still be man in the middle of this defense in 6 more years. And in Wisconsin, your home takes a beating year-round. We saw that. 70 degrees last week, -2 tomorrow. That's how it goes in Wisconsin. You better have your doors and windows game tight, and Pella gives you that. Improved comfort, boost energy efficiency, and will upgrade your home's look. Pella's expert will help you find the perfect fit for your home and your budget, again, with 0 interest until 2032. You can upgrade now, pay over time without paying a dime in interest for 6 years. Don't wait. Visit PellaWI.com today to learn more.
More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. All the biggest voices, all in one place. The Yingling Guest Hotline. Exclusive insight from Hall of Famers, All-Stars, and Game Changers, all on the Yingling Guest Hotline.
He's Adam Schefter. But it's hard to argue with what he's doing. He's playing at an elite level right now.
The Yingling Guest Hotline on ESPN Wisconsin.
They're winning games. He's playing great football. I think every time he does that, he wins over more and more people.
Yingling, now officially in Wisconsin. DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
Your taste buds are in luck. The Reuben is back at Cousin Subs. Try this classic sub grilled to order just for you. Stacked with corned beef, Wisconsin Swiss cheese, and sauerkraut topped with Thousand Island dressing and served on rye bread. And our delicious mint shake is back. Both the Reuben and mint shake can be ordered via the Cousins app or online for a limited time only. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
Mark Tauscher here for Iron Jock. As a former athlete, I've worn just about every type of workout gear there is, and nothing compares to Iron Jock. Their performance apparel is built to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria, keeping you feeling fresh no matter how hard you push. From the gym to the pickleball court, Iron Jock keeps you dry, comfortable, and confident. And now, through March 22nd, our listeners can get 40% off all Iron Jock hoodies with the code HOODIE40. That's HOODIE40. Iron Jock helps you look good, smell good, and keep showing up. Shop now at ironjock.com.
Wisconsin weather doesn't wait, and neither should you. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we make upgrading your home simple. Right now, order today and get 0% interest until 2032. You heard me right. 0% interest all the way until 2032. Upgrade your windows and doors now and pay over time without paying interest. With our 10-year limited warranty, you can feel confident in your investment. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. 3/31/2026.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
March into big savings at Exterior Pros and Baths. Refresh your home this season with energy-efficient windows, durable roofing, beautiful new siding, or a stunning bath remodel and get $3,000 off your project. That's $3,000 in instant savings during their March savings event. But this offer won't last long. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
Look, it's Jake from our store in Kenosha.
Hi, Monica. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Rick. Your email said you had a big surprise. Look and tell me what you see.
Wow, I see 9 perfect examples of the classic diamond solitaire engagement ring.
They're gorgeous.
These rings are exactly what people imagine when they hear the words engagement ring.
Monica, do you think it will always be like that?
Evermore.
That long?
And each of these is 3/4 of a carat.
$998.
Unbelievable. So how much do we sell them for?
That is how much we sell them for. Can we do that?
We're the largest employee-owned jewelry company in America, Rick. We can do anything we want.
But for how long?
Evermore.
People can choose any of the 9 most popular style solitaires, 3/4 of a carat, and each of them was created in the heart of a miniature star.
5 different diamond shapes, 2 colors of gold. Evermore, just $998.
Or $1498 with a 1-carat diamond center with diamonds on the side.
Learn more at KesslersDiamonds.com.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
With a Woe Hunter coming up shortly. Tausch, when we talk about older players, one of the reasons why Goody doesn't want them, generally speaking, and look, he, again, as we talked about while Tausch was at the Big Ten tournament, when he was at the scouting combine, he changed. 26 to 29. Tausch calls them elevator years. It's when you're going to stay the healthiest, Goody said, and you're going to play your best football. He put parameters. He said the ages out loud. 26 to 29. So, line of demarcation, my eye. There is a line of demarcation for him. He just told you it's on 26 to 29. What is the danger of a player who's 33 falling off the table suddenly? Because if anybody has taught us that the league comes at you fast, it's you. And whether you're Zaire Franklin turning 30 or Javon Hargrave, who is 33, there is that danger, is there not?
There is, but I would say this, that if you're a pass rusher, I mean, everybody is different. There are special talents that are, Hall of Fame type guys that they don't have that drop off. I'm saying for most players, you start getting dinged up, and once you have one or two things, it just becomes so difficult to rehab, try to get stronger faster. It's hard to keep up when you keep having to go backwards. That's the race that you're in. And if you're a role player and you're expected to give a certain amount, or if you're the idea of being a run stuffer, those guys aren't. You're not really looking for one down run stuffers in the NFL anymore. You need to be able to do everything because you have limited roster spots, and you need to be able to contribute in many different ways. Once you start kind of going down that road, the reason they don't want 30-year-olds is your injury risk is higher, your talent starts dropping, and when those two things combine, you aren't as dependable and as available as you want to be. And when you don't have those two traits and you're an older veteran player, you're not as useful because you're probably expensive too. And that is the trifecta of why I and Goody, and I think most people would want to keep it in that 26 to 20, 24 to 28 is where you really want to be. But when you're starting to look at it, that's when you're going to get your best production. That's when you should be making your most money. There are Myles Garrett, I would take in a heartbeat. Bring him in. There are guys, but even like a T.J. Watt, he's getting older. There are guys that you start getting older, and yes, they're still great role players. They're still players that can do a ton of great things, but can they still perform at that same level that they did 2 or 3 years ago at a contract that is huge? It's getting to be less and less, and you're talking about Hall of Fame guys that are able to kind of hang in there and do it, but it gets really difficult for players that get to that point. To be able to count on them for 17 weeks is a big ask.
And Goody admitted it after the Aaron Rodgers era ended that he would prefer to have younger players than he would have preferred young players then too. And that's kind of what he started doing in 2022 when they missed the playoffs in Rodgers' final season, when they lost to the Lions in the regular season finale. He kept bringing back older players because he had a Hall of Fame quarterback who was still playing at an extremely high back-to-back MVP number 3 and MVP number 4 level. You don't think that he was giddy when 2022 ended the way it did? He was sure disappointed, I'm sure, by that season. But you don't think he was happy to be able to go build the team the way he wanted to instead of having to continue to bring guys back that were older than he wanted them to be because he wanted to try and run it back with the Hall of Fame quarterback that he had? I'm telling you, that's why he said, and Tausch brings it up all the time, he said it was a good day when they ate $41 million of dead cap on Aaron Rodgers. That's why he felt that way. And while it has gotten them the 7th seed each of the last 3 seasons and gotten them to the divisional round once in the playoffs of those 3 years, I don't think he's changing his stripes. I think these are targeted decisions. And if he adds 3 more guys that have surpassed their 30th birthday in the coming weeks, I will revise that position. But I don't think Goody is abandoning his philosophy. I think he's making exceptions. By the way, Zaire Franklin's contract, according to Spotrac, 2 years, $18.01 million. He gets a $3.75 million signing bonus. His cap hits are $7.13 million for this year, $10.8 million for next year. Now, again, he was traded from the Colts. He had no guaranteed money. So they give him $3.75 million. He was scheduled to make a $6 million and change base salary for this year. I don't think that they have structured this in a way that guarantees he's back next year. I think they've placated him with some guaranteed money, so he knows for sure he's here this year. And then I think Goody's attitude is, we'll see how it goes, because his $10 million cap number for next year is not huge, but it's not big enough to say, well, he's definitely going to be here, or we're definitely going to release him to clear up that cap space. With that money, he can take it to Associated Bank, though, the official bank of the Packers. What do I always say? It's not branches that make a bank local, it's roots. And Associated Bank's roots run deep here in Wisconsin. Go to AssociatedBank.com right now. Make the switch. Find out about all the great customer service they have with early pay, credit monitoring, fraud protection, and Packers, Badgers, and Brewers checking. AssociatedBank.com. Whoa, Hunter is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Why DIY your frozen pizza toppings when Screamin' Sicilian already went over the top for you? We're talking whole milk mozzarella, heaps of premium meats, a mountain of veggies. Screamin' Sicilian is frozen pizza stacked, no add-ons needed. Mamma mia! Screamin' Sicilian, so loaded with toppings, it's almost cheating. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer section and taste what all the screamin' is about. Spring is here, and living with your old, drafty, foggy, dirty, hard-to-open, bad windows is no longer an option. You deserve better windows and doors. At Siding Unlimited, we install top-of-the-line wood, vinyl, and fiberglass windows with options to fit your style, color, and design choices. Built for energy efficiency, installed by our professional craftsmen at Siding Unlimited. Siding Unlimited. Experience, integrity, craftsmanship. Visit sidingunlimited.com today.
The Island Resort and Casino is the Midwest's premier resort destination, giving guests the total experience with a luxury hotel, full-service spa, live lounge and headline entertainment, multiple dining options, and more, all surrounding a lively Vegas-style casino. And atop many a golfer's bucket list are the island's 2 championship courses, Sweetgrass and Sage Run. When we say your total experience, we mean it. Plan your getaway today at islandresortandcasino.com.
It's Mike with Infinity Exteriors. I've seen it all, Wisconsin. Sketchy sales gimmicks for low-quality windows, siding that costs more than a new home, fly-by-night roofers. 60,000 happy customers made a better choice. Infinity Exteriors roofing, siding, and windows all come with our lifetime workmanship warranty, no overcharges, and transparent pricing. At Infinity Exteriors, we're on a mission to save our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
This is Coach Greg Gard. Strong teams succeed with the right partners. Bank CMG works closely with Wisconsin business owners, offering local insight, modern tools, and honest guidance you can trust. They take the time to understand your goals and help you build something sustainable. Whether you're managing cash flow, planning for growth, or navigating change, having the right banking partner matters. When your business matters, your bank should too. BankCMG.com.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA and founder of the Neal Group and best-selling author on how to have less stress with the IRS. If 2025 didn't go exactly as planned, you're not alone. You made it through, and that's what counts. Now it's time for taxes, and for a lot of people, that's when the stress kicks in, especially if things got messy along the way. The good news, a rough year doesn't mean a ruined future. We helped Nate fix a tax mess with the IRS caused by one of those national firms and saved him $103,000 in penalties, plus another $152,000 in taxes because we know the tax law. Imagine walking into tax season with a clear plan and someone in your corner who knows the tax law and knows how to use it. You earned it, we help you keep it. Call us now at 414-325-2040 to arrange a meeting to see how we can help you. Don't wait, call now. That's 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Time now for Whoa Hunter.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
Well, we started this show talking about the Badger basketball team, as again, they are the 5 seed in the West region. They're going to be playing High Point in their first round matchup. And our teammate Pablo Iglesias was down in Chicago for the Big Ten tournament. And we were talking about some of the confidence in this team and things like that. Nick Boyd talked about bringing some confidence to the team. So I wanted to play that for you guys here to start Whoa Nelly.
For Nick, you were part of a Final Four run a few years ago that nobody expected your team to make. What kind of wisdom do you think you can instill in your teammates as you guys start your march run this year?
Yeah, just confidence, togetherness and confidence. You know, that's the most important thing. My old team, we just had a certain confidence and swag about us. And, you know, every game's different. Like, you know, here, like, we only won by a couple points, but tomorrow, you know, it's a different game. And, you know, we just got to be ready to compete, you know. And if we compete, you know, March will be special for us.
So, again, guys, I'm feeling really confident about this Badgers team, and I'm trying to not let my heart get broken. But this team just feels a little different.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Skeptic, huh?
We've felt good about them previously. They got hosed by the committee last year by the matchup they got stuck with BYU, basically in BYU's backyard instead of being in Milwaukee. They don't have that issue necessarily. They're not playing in Little Rock, Arkansas, so if they win their first round game, they're playing Arkansas in Arkansas's backyard, but they are out in Portland. Look, I want to see them get to the Sweet 16 and beyond. When's the last time they made the Sweet 16? It's been a minute. And so I want to have that confidence. I'm glad Nick Boyd has confidence. I'm not sure that anyone expected his team, was it San Diego State, to make the Final Four when he was there. I think that was a surprise.
Florida Atlantic, I think, or Florida International. Or something.
He was on the FAU team.
Okay, so that was 2 years ago with Michigan's coach, right?
Yeah.
I'll be curious to see if this team can get out of the first weekend, because that is obviously what we're all waiting for. There's a clip that I hear from Ben Brust that gets replayed all the time in a promo that says if they don't make the Sweet 16, none of this really matters. And as much as it pains me to agree with Ben Brust, I think he's probably right. Because we're not going to – if they lose –
still got to get to – here's the deal. We've got the best backcourt in the country. I can't say that for sure because I don't watch any other college basketball, but this backcourt is awesome. and they were the best at the Big Ten tournament. They'll need to be this good again. They're going to have to play like they did, and then you get Nolan Winter back if he's healthy. There's no reason we shouldn't and wouldn't be getting to the Sweet 16. And I'll be honest, if you make the Sweet 16, that's great, and I think people will be placated a little bit, but you got to make Final Fours. That's what this is about. That's what this everybody's chasing. Greg Gard has done a fantastic job, but, yeah, Ben's right. You don't get credit for what you do in the regular season in college basketball. You just don't.
As much as you enjoyed your time at the Big Ten tournament, no one will be talking about, man, what a great Big Ten tournament they had if they were to lose to Arkansas in the second round. No one's talking about it.
Right. You're right.
Speaking of the NCAA tournament and filling out your brackets, I, a lot of times, get sucked into the rabbit hole of the crazy stats that come out about, like, the history of the tournament with, like, the Ken Pom rating and where teams fall offensively and defensively. And one that I just saw is that no one since 1997, when Arizona won the title, has been west of Dallas and won a national title. Does anything like that factor in when you guys fill out your brackets?
What?
No.
Yeah, Baylor is the furthest west team since 98 to win a national title.
Huh. No, that doesn't factor into my brackets at all. Of course, I don't know nearly as much about college basketball as I once did when I paid closer attention when I'd be writing my stories. So I don't feel super confident in my bracket at all.
Whoa, Nelly! How many brackets do you fill out?
One.
The bracket of integrity.
Good. I can't stand it when I hear people talking about, like, well, in this bracket I have this team going, and then in this one, and then they're, like, cheering about one, but then they had the team getting upset in a different one. I hate those people. They're the absolute worst this time of year.
Strong.
Well, no, because they sit there and they talk about it, and then they act like, oh, of the 50 brackets I filled out and the 50 different scenarios I had, this one won my pool. So I clearly know exactly what's going on, and I can talk about it in a way that I actually know what's happening.
How many people
Would it be
do you
rude
have
if people just start talking about your bracket and you just turn and walk away from them?
I'm kind of that way when people talk about their fantasy football team. So I think I might need to just start doing that. Like, I don't need to hear it.
Fun way to do it.
You don't have that many friends that are filling out 50 brackets. Come on.
Are you saying I don't have friends, or just that many people don't do that?
Well, nobody's filling out 50 of them.
I know. I was exaggerating, but there are multiple people I know, and there are people in this office that will fill out multiple different brackets.
One bracket's enough. That's it for Whoa, Hunter. We'll wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Badgers.
You know, anything can happen in March.
Because we're on Wisconsin.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Mark Tauscher here for Iron Jock. As a former athlete, I've worn just about every type of workout gear there is, and nothing compares to Iron Jock. Their performance apparel is built to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria, keeping you feeling fresh no matter how hard you push. From the gym to the pickleball court, Iron Jock keeps you dry, comfortable, and confident. And now, through March 22nd, our listeners can get 40% off all Iron Jock hoodies with the code HOODIE40. That's HOODIE40. Iron Jock helps you look good, smell good, and keep showing up. Shop now at ironjock.com. Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your car might not be able to express its gratitude when you get an oil change, but the people you're helping will certainly appreciate it. Because when you visit an Adam member new car dealer through May 16th, they'll donate $1 from every oil change to Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin. and every dollar provides 3 meals. Over the past 15 years, Adam has donated more than $960,000, providing 2.8 million meals for people across southeast Wisconsin, the majority being children and seniors. So if your car's in need of an oil change, why not also help someone who's in need of a meal? Get your oil changed by Adam Factory Trained Techs at a price as low or lower than independent shops. For a list of participating Adam member dealers, visit adamm.com. And thank you.
Some companies build projects. At Professional Construction Inc., we build relationships.
That means showing up early, taking pride in the details, and having each other's backs, on and off the job site.
We're looking for skilled carpenters who really care about their craft and want to be part of a team.
Not just another paycheck, but a place where the people you work with actually matter.
If you work hard, take pride in what you build, and want to join a tight-knit crew, then we'd love to meet you.
Apply today at professionalconstructioninc.com.
Make your fitness goals last with Johnson Fitness and Wellness, the largest specialty fitness retailer in the country with 5 locations in the Milwaukee area. At Johnson Fitness and Wellness, you'll find top-rated treadmills, strength equipment, ellipticals, bikes, and more, all guided by certified fitness experts who match the right equipment to your goals, space, and budget. And with white glove delivery and installation, plus flexible financing options, you can build your home gym with confidence. Visit one of their stores today or online at johnsonfitness.com.
With Wilde and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
Yeah, coaching matters a lot, and we've fallen short. Those are the facts. Matt LaFleur's on the clock, man. And I know he got an extension, but I'll say this. If they revert and don't get better, you're evaluated on your results.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Everybody knows, it's championship or bust. That is what Green Bay is. And unfortunately, we've had 15 years of bust.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
An uninspired cookie-cutter trade show booth is unlikely to move the needle.
Picture this. Lights, motion, energy, engagement. A space so bold it stops people mid-step.
That's what the award-winning team at Captivate Exhibits has been delivering for over 30 years.
From high-impact trade show exhibits to immersive lobbies, history walls, and culture-driven interiors, Captivate transforms ordinary square footage into unforgettable brand experiences.
Get started today at CaptivateExhibits.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Looks like we're going to get to Rich Eisen on time today. But before we do, how did we manage to go through the whole show? What is High Point University, and how long has it been around?
I think it's a lot of wide receivers have come out.
There you go. Nice. Well played. Yes. I saw the bracket, and they made the tournament last year. I remember seeing them on my bracket, right, Hunter?
That sounds right, yeah.
I was unfamiliar with them. They've apparently been around.
Yeah, I don't know, but it sounds right.
I mean, I think they've made it a couple of times as like a 16 seed or something like that in the past. They're playing really well though. 14
Hunter,
straight
I'm just going to say this. Thank you for coming in today. We wouldn't have had a show without Hunter today, so kudos. We're going to give a high point of the day to Hunter today. Kudos to Hunter.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for your service, Hunter. I think we're done here.
Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is ready to slip someone into a green jacket. The next tournament of the season's here, and there's $1,000 in cash prizes. Hey, ESPN Milwaukee, this is Gary Ellison, inviting you to a 2-man scramble at Georgia Golf Club, all played on Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center's spacious, state-of-the-art simulators. Sign up now at wisconsinindoorgolfcenter.com. It's just $120 per team, and all team must compete their round by March 31st. Who's walking away with the cash, and who's earning that green jacket?
At Grunberg Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
Screaming Sicilian, more is amore. Screaming Sicilian, more is amore. Amore, pepperoni, amore, mozzarella, amore. Screaming Sicilian, screaming Sicilian.
Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza. More toppings, more flavor. More is amore.
You asked and Carbless delivered. The fan favorite grapefruit flavor now has its own 4-pack all to itself. That bold, bright, perfectly balanced citrus taste that you've been pulling from the variety pack, it's now front and center in 4 cans, 1 box. Crisp, refreshing, not too sweet, and nothing